means a whole lot of happy customers.
Proof's in the pudding. So whether you need factory scheduled maintenance
or tires, brakes, and suspension service, we've got your back.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved,
and all staffed by ASE certified technicians. I'm Brett Matschke, and the next time you're due for service,
bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Restaurant prices are soaring, but not at the family-owned Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Shaft, one of my favorite places. It's super affordable. The atmosphere is so much fun. As a matter of fact, it's big food and big fun. Today and every Tuesday, the all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet is just $9.99. Seriously, it's all your favorite authentic Mexican and all you can eat for $9.99. Your kids and grandkids can safely play in that huge game room, quietly tucked aside from the dining area. You really should try the Mine Shaft's all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet. It's $9.99. It's delicious. Desserts are buy one, get one free. The cool and comfortable Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh with lots of seating. Just walk in today for your Tuesday all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. The Wednesday all-you-can-eat fish fry is $6.99. Shut the front door. $6.99 from 11 a.m. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
When you want the best medical attention, you don't just go to anybody, you go to a specialist. The same should be true with your car or truck. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. When your vehicle needs service, take it to a specialist, an Adam member new car dealer. Adam dealers use factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians specially trained on the advanced technology on your vehicle. They have all the latest manufacturer service bulletins and will know if your issue is covered by an existing warranty or if there are any recalls. And despite what you might assume, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine maintenance and tires. Now, knowing all that, why would you even consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
For great paying job opportunities, visit adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
It's time for a Wisconsin Farmers Union Minute. Dairy farmers in Wisconsin and across the nation have experienced boom and bust price cycles for decades, triggered by an imbalance between supply and demand. When milk prices are high, farmers increase production to meet the demand. However, when prices are low, dairy farmers also increase production to help their bottom line, unintentionally flooding the market and driving prices down further. The wild price swings that result make it difficult to manage a business. But there is a better way. The Dairy Revitalization Plan is a growth management strategy that coordinates milk production growth among all dairy producers to stabilize and improve prices for everyone. Unlike quota, which is often viewed as overly restrictive, growth management offers a series of incentives and disincentives to better align milk production growth with demand growth. The Dairy Together coalition of farmers, farm groups, and dairy industry stakeholders is pushing this plan to be included in the upcoming Farm Bill. By implementing the Dairy Revitalization Plan, we can ensure that Wisconsin remains America's dairy land for generations to come. Learn more at dairytogether.com.
The Republican National Convention is officially here in Milwaukee. Keep it tuned here for the most in-depth coverage of every angle of the RNC. This is Decision Wisconsin, presented by Pasternak and Zergabel. We are your central hub for all things RNC. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Tuesday, July 16th. Our top story, a triumphant entrance at Fiserv Forum.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and everything seems to be rolling along pretty well on the freeway system. Not seeing any delays or incidents up on the board. Just remember, things might be a little bit tight around the downtown area around that security zone, although it looks like they've worked out any of the kinks, or most of them at least, so I wasn't having any problems getting in myself. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Some pop-up showers moving out over Lake Michigan this morning. Your storm team forecast from meteorologist Tyler Moore calling for a much less humid day today. We'll have highs in the low 80s, down to 67 overnight tonight, and then a much less humid week begins tomorrow and runs through Friday. Right now it's 70 degrees and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 6:01. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, wrapping up day one of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, former President Donald Trump has officially received his party's nomination for president for the third election in a row.
We hereby nominate every single one of them for the greatest president that's ever lived, and that's Donald J. Trump.
Yesterday, the party officially nominated Trump for president in a roll call of state delegates. The theme focused on the economy, with speeches from governors, members of Congress, and the head of the Teamsters Union.
We will create an agenda and work with a bipartisan coalition ready to accomplish something real for the American worker.
Sabrina Franza, CBS News, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Last night at Fiserv Forum, Donald Trump making his first appearance since the attempt on his life on Saturday. WTMJ's John Mercure was inside the arena when the president arrived.
I was 10 feet from the former president as Donald Trump walked into Fiserv Forum here. A big white bandage on his right ear, an even bigger smile on his face. He ascended the stairs after actually walking through some of the delegations of different states and was seated between J.D. Vance and the rest of his family. Chants echoed through Fiserv Forum. Red, white, and blue waved. Signs danced in the crowd. Donald Trump spending the evening here, officially kicking off his campaign to become president once again. Inside a raucous Fiserv Forum, John Mercure, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, as day two of the convention kicks off later today with the theme of Make America Safe Again, convention goers from New York to Texas tell WTMJ the attempted assassination of Donald Trump has changed the mood in Milwaukee.
I would say everything got much more serious. You know, that threat's always there in our minds, but when you see it's actually happened, it becomes much more real.
Britton Brooks is from Sherman, Texas. He's here in Milwaukee for the first time, attending the Republican National Convention.
Of course, our family's called, said be extra careful. Everyone's very cautious. It's the topic of conversation at the hotels.
Anna Villa is originally from El Salvador, but now calls New York home. She drove from the Big Apple to Bruce City. Villa says the attempted assassination made her want to attend the RNC even more.
It was like a feeling right in my heart. I didn't know if it was anger, if I felt like even more push to come.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
President Biden commenting on the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. In an interview with NBC News, the president says security issues may have played a big factor.
President Biden responded in the NBC interview to Republicans claiming his calling former President Donald Trump a threat to democracy played a part in the attack.
How do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says things like he says? Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody?
Biden questioned the security at the Pennsylvania rally.
The question is, should they have anticipated what happened? Or should they have done what they needed to do to prevent this from happening? That's a question that's an open question.
Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up, we're keeping an eye on other stories this morning, include an eerie evening in Chicago. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:04.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own Accunet Mortgage, with a tip for today's home shoppers. You already know inventory is low and both competition and home prices are high. That's probably why you should not go with your bank or your real estate agent's mortgage pal for your pre-approval. You see, the banks have lots of branches, fancy headquarters, vice presidents and assistant vice presidents. And the loan officers who get referrals from real estate agents, they're typically very highly paid. Who do you think pays for all that extra expense? Turns out it's you. High overhead and high compensation naturally translate into higher closing costs. At Accunet, our extreme efficiency and low overhead mean your closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks and other lenders for exactly the same rate. Don't light your hard-earned money on fire. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval today by clicking on the blue button and put the money you'll save in closing costs towards something for your new home. That's ACCUNET.com.
This is Brad Youngbooth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. We have two big humps in this business, right before summer and right after fall. And for us, that's when the lines are the longest. Folks usually choose to do their exterior work during those times, and what I'm trying to do here with this message is level out the flow of business so that we don't have to disappoint anyone come November and December because they were hoping to get their work done before the snow flies. I understand where the focus is during summer, but you know what? It really is a great time to get signed up for your exterior work, like siding and windows, because that's when the lines are the shortest, and it's the one time that we're pretty sure we're not going to get any snow. So if you're looking to get your work done, why put it off? The lines are shorter and we'll be ready. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, call Semper Fi, because you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
It's Black Friday in July at Steinhoffel's. Get amazing deals on closeouts and bonus buys. Plus, save up to $1,300 on select patio collections. And pay with Steinhoffel's 18-month 0% financing. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 6:07. It's MLB All-Star Game Day, and it was led up to by a interesting national anthem. We'll have that coming up in sports at 6:15. In Chicago, eerie sounds of tornado sirens, a rare tornado warning for the Windy City as severe weather conditions, including a tornado, struck the city Monday night, forced hundreds of travelers at O'Hare Airport to take shelter as flights were delayed and canceled, all part of a severe weather system that brought over 100-mile-per-hour winds to parts of Illinois and Iowa. Meanwhile, southeast Wisconsin seeing mainly heavy downpours from the storms, particularly in Racine, Kenosha, and Walworth counties. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast is coming up in about 5 minutes. Meanwhile, Milwaukee Public Schools moving one step closer to electing an interim superintendent.
The Board of School Directors announcing that it has interviewed its final 3 candidates for the position. If a candidate is picked and accepts the job, the board says the appointment will be formalized at a future board meeting. MPS still anticipates having an interim superintendent in place before the beginning of this upcoming school year. Dr. Tina Owen Moore has also been hired by the district as board clerk for the Office of Board Governance. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 6:08.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scaffidi. Yet another strong storm rolled through Oak Creek in South Milwaukee, causing actual damage at my house. Thankfully, I knew exactly what to do. I called my friends Jeff and Jake at Loyal Family Renovations, and Jeff came by to assess the damage. If your home has suffered storm damage, don't leave it up to the out-of-towners. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today for a free damage inspection, and they'll help make your home remodeling dreams a reality. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
It was a sobering headline. Social Security to run short by 2035. A possible 17% reduction in benefits. At Annex Wealth Management, we feel that Social Security is only one leg of the retirement stool, but it provides needed balance. It's time to stress test your retirement plan and move forward with guidance from the fee-only fiduciaries at Annex. Do it for you, your family, your legacy. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. It only takes a few minutes to get the ball rolling. Head to AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law fights for those who fought for us. If you're a vet and have been wrongfully denied the VA benefits you're entitled to, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
At 6:09, let's get an update on the roads. Debbie Lazica.
All right, it's looking pretty good right now on the freeway system. No major delays around the area, no incidents really. Just might be a little bit tight right around the security zones downtown Milwaukee, but overall we're handling things pretty well. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Loving this forecast for the rest of the week as the humidity starts to drop today. Temperature is back closer to average in the lower 80s. We are going to see a small chance for rain shower passing through, otherwise looking drier for today. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low temperatures mid-60s. On Wednesday, mostly sunny skies and the humidity completely drops off. We'll see high temperatures in the upper 70s. Thursday, mid-70s for highs with mostly sunny conditions. Then on Friday, high temperatures back near 80. More sunshine continues, and the drier weather continues into the weekend. On Saturday, highs in the lower 80s with partly cloudy conditions. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 69 degrees.
This is WTMJ at the Republican National Convention.
I formally declare President Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance as the Republican nominees for President and Vice President of the United States.
Now broadcasting live from Media Row at the Panther Arena inside the RNC. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Eric Bilstad and Vince Vetrano.
Day 2 of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. The talk this morning will be of the first appearance of the former president and now officially the GOP nominee for 2024, who appeared to great fanfare at the convention hall here in Milwaukee Monday night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 45th President of the United States and soon to be the 47th President of the United States, please welcome Donald J. Trump.
The former president announced...
Wait, no, is that Lee Greenwood, right?
Well, it was the house band.
And so it wasn't him?
So you have not been in the convention hall yet. You're due to go over there today. Eric, they've got this band that plays in between, in and out of speakers and kind of keeps things moving. I don't know if they switched the band out, but that house band when I was there in the afternoon... Pretty solid band.
Right. Anyway, sorry.
So the former president there announced to that music, not for nothing, but the band is good, as I mentioned, and it was a rousing welcome. WTMJ's John Mercure was on the floor of the convention hall as the former president entered.
I was 10 feet from the former president as Donald Trump walked into Fiserv Forum here, a big white bandage on his right ear, an even bigger smile on his face. He ascended the stairs after actually walking through some of the delegations of different states and was seated between J.D. Vance and the rest of his family. Chants echoed through Fiserv Forum. Red, white, and blue waved. Signs danced in the crowd. Donald Trump spending the evening here, officially kicking off his campaign to become president once again. Inside a raucous Fiserv Forum, John Mercure, WTMJ News.
So what you need to know about how things play out inside Fiserv Forum, we've talked a lot about the hard security perimeter. So anyone who is within this area is credentialed to be there. They've been security checked and all that. So the movements of very important people, including the nominee, including House Speaker, including, all of these folks, they're just around the people, which is not how you usually see them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And you even see it just out and about in Deer District, too, some of the high-profile lawmakers that are just kind of around. It's pretty cool how that works out that way.
And you can tell when someone important is around. If anybody's got an entourage of more than a couple of people, all the heads turn. Like, that's somebody. Yeah, and then you look and...
a scrum gets created.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then you also have not just delegates, but also other people inside the security perimeter who are sort of invited guests, whether they're inside Fiserv Forum or not, who are just kind of people watching and going up and they're taking pictures with
shaking
people.
Hands, right?
All of that is playing out here inside this area in downtown Milwaukee. What's ahead today? The big headline expected to be former Ambassador Nikki Haley. Right. Virtually everyone is reporting, Associated Press reporting as well, that she committed on Sunday after the assassination attempt of former President Trump to speak at this convention. Heretofore was not scheduled to do so. So that'll be a big deal.
And that's supposed to be today. That's supposed to be the biggest speech of the day, you would think.
You're going to hear a lot from Eric and me as we report from the Republican National Convention. Supposed to be. We'll get into it a little bit later, but...
There's a reason why it's always supposed to be.
Campaign officials are telling us things and then often saying, but this is off the record. And they want people to be in place for important moments. So I appreciate them saying, you're going to want to be here, this is what's happening. They sort of lay out the schedule, but then they say, but this information isn't reportable. And there's a sort of a back and forth between reporters, and they're like, well, can we say this? Can we say,
I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One of it is because they just don't know for sure what the nominee may or may not do at any given moment. Does he change his mind?
Does he change?
I mean, right, seriously. They just don't. And she said that when we listened to one of the spokespeople yesterday. She said, look, the former president may decide to do something else. I'm just telling you.
So this much we do know. We do expect former Ambassador Nikki Haley, who is Trump's most vocal opponent, hung on the latest there in the primary process to address this convention tonight in Milwaukee. 6:15, sports up next.
The Republican National Convention is officially here in Milwaukee, and we'll be broadcasting live from the middle of it all right here on WTMJ all week long. Catch our regular WTMJ programming, as well as special programming, live from Media Row inside the RNC. Decision Wisconsin is presented by Pasternak and Zergabel. We are your central hub for everything RNC. News Radio WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Dad Joke July continues. Gina Della from Pella has assigned John Markier and myself to read you dad jokes on the front end of the great deal that we're offering right now from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Listen, I'm just following directions. Here's one for you today. You ready?
Yes.
My boss said dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. So I went in as Batman. No? No good?
Okay.
Well, fine. I'll do better tomorrow. I don't know.
I'm laughing. Okay, you got me.
Here's the deal from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Good through the end of the month. If you spread your payments out, look at it on a month-to-month basis. You pay as low as $18 a month per window, $81 a month per patio door. You know Pella has the best products in Wisconsin, completes the installation with little or no mess, no hassle, leave nothing behind but perfect results. That was certainly the case in my house over the summer. We're going to get a front door. That's the next project, and a couple of new windows as well later this year. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin right now offering payments as low as $18 a window per month, $81 per door per month. Certain restrictions do apply, and this deal runs through the end of July. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Eric Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
The Midsummer Classic is tonight. Major League Baseball All-Star Game from Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Christian Yelich and William Contreras are starting for the NL. Contreras batting 5th, Yelich batting 6th. They are the only All-Stars from Milwaukee. However, the starting pitcher for the AL, Vince, that's somebody you know. It's Corbin Burns. Yes, the former Brewer, current Oriole, will be on the mound for the American League. Now, on the NL side of things, Paul Skeens, yes.
All right, Skeensy.
The rookie phenom who no-hit the crew through 7 innings last week will start for the National League.
You think this is one of these things where these guys throw one inning and that's that? Or does Skeensy get an inning or two because he's that good?
It seems like it changes from time to time. Usually it's 2 innings, and then it kind of goes 1-1-1, but I don't know. You just don't want him to get hurt, but it would be cool if he went 6, just to see it, but it's not going to happen. On Monday, the bombs were hit in the home run derby. Dodgers slugger Teoscar Hernandez wins the derby. The Royals' Bobby Witt Jr. hit one off the wall in the last round that would have tied it, but I just missed. So Hernandez is your home run winner. Perhaps the most memorable part of the home run derby, though, was what happened before during the anthem.
Is everyone okay?
I think she was really actually trying. I don't think she was trying to. I don't know how to say this.
She wasn't trying to be bad?
Yes. 4-time Grammy-nominated country music star Ingrid Andress becoming the latest singer to struggle with the anthem so badly that she had to suspend her Instagram account afterward.
Turn it off.
Because you know how that goes. But yeah, so a little bit of a struggle, but I'm sure she didn't do it on purpose.
I'm Greg Matzik. In Green Bay, the Ed Policy era will begin in July of 2025. The current chief operating officer of the Packers, he is going to replace current president and CEO Mark Murphy.
And I'm Jessica Tai. New details at noon about Ascension's cybersecurity attack. The hospital group now says it knows how the attackers gained access to their systems.
What is that exactly?
Wisconsin's Midday News.
Weekdays 11 to 1
on 620 WTMJ.
Nothing worse than a contractor's job dragging on for weeks at your house. At 2-Day Painting, they handle it all. And I know, they were in my house. Vince Vitrano here with a summer special offer from 2-Day Painting today. Now's the time to get that exterior work done. Still room on the schedule to have your house not only painted, but fixed up. 2-Day Painting can handle cracked or missing caulk. They'll do rotten wood, peeling paint before winter comes, and these problems all get worse. And then because they put a full crew on every job, they complete the work beautifully and efficiently. Here's the deal. Take advantage of this summer offer right now. 15% off the cost of your project when you tell them Vinny sent you. And there's more. 10% back up to $1,000 to spend on a winter job this year. So get them outside and inside your house. 262-706-1135. 262-706-1135. 2daypainting.com.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
It's Heiser's Red, White, and Blue event. Service or upgrade your ride today with star-spangled discounts you deserve. Let our certified technicians get your current ride road trip ready for July festivities. Or work with our sales consultants to find the perfect new vehicle for all your summer destinations. Plus, enjoy our exclusive Safe and Sound program with every vehicle sale. See details and offers at Heiser.com and celebrate your independence today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Traffic and weather at 6:22. How are we looking so far this morning, Debbie?
Starting to get a little bit heavy on westbound 894 from about Loomis to 68th. Pretty much what we'd expect. Otherwise, everything else is rolling along pretty well. The areas around the downtown area into the security zone is pretty much clear right now. So I think we're in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Got hit with some rain earlier this morning. Partly cloudy today. Humidity is supposed to drop. A high of 82, so much more comfortable today. Partly cloudy, a low of 66 tonight. Wednesday, sunny, cooler. The humidity gone tomorrow, a high of 78. Thursday, 75. Friday, 80. Saturday, 82. No rain for the next several days. Right now in Milwaukee, I'm checking the temperature here in Milwaukee this morning.
I just showed it to you. 69 degrees.
69.
Come with me now.
The logistics of a live show. Vince Petrano, Eric Billstead with you here.
Now 70 degrees.
Good. Thanks for the update. Outstanding. Live from the Republican National Convention. We are in UWM Panther Arena this morning, known as Media Row. Wouldn't you do that Thursday? What else are they doing all week?
Yeah.
That learned commentary from Max Vetrano as I went home.
Hey, good for your kid to be astute and paying attention.
Well, I thought it was interesting. I got to spend some time, as I told you, on the convention floor yesterday when things were really cooking on Monday, when the actual nomination, former President Trump and ultimately J.D. Vance, who was announced, was occurring. So this historic event, maybe you vote red, maybe you don't, but like history is being made here in Milwaukee regardless. And I was sharing that with the family. Max said, wait, they did that today? What do they do the whole rest of the week?
Right.
So I actually sat him down yesterday. We watched some of the speeches. I'm like, this is what the week is really about outside of that party business. But as I was amongst the delegation for Wisconsin, chairman of the Republican Party of Wisconsin, addressing the convention secretary.
Where 170 years ago, this great party was founded down the road in Ripon, Wisconsin, in a little white schoolhouse. Madam Secretary, the great state of Wisconsin proudly casts all of its 41 votes for Donald J. Trump.
So that was the moment. RPW Chairman Brian Schimming with the honor. Former Governor Scott Walker, County Executive Paul Farrow in the of Waukesha County in the delegation at the moment. Schimming with an interesting reveal just moments after I spoke with him.
Very exciting. And this, interestingly enough, is my first Republican convention.
Well, at least you didn't have to travel.
Yeah, my first Republican convention is in my home state with being state chairman. So that's kind of fun.
Okay, joke landed flat there on my part. So, all right.
That's true.
It was hard to hear. He probably did.
Yeah, there's a lot of people down there.
Republican Party Chair of Wisconsin, Brian Schimming. He also talked about the politics. One of the reasons the Democrats chose Milwaukee in 2020, the Republicans here in 24, is the significance of our 10 electoral votes.
Wisconsin, as I always say, is not one of 50 states this year. We're one of 7. And so the significance of having the convention here in Milwaukee is not small.
his point, handful of states that are really truly in play here. His number is 7. You hear it go back and forth between which states may or may not be in play.
Less.
You were talking this morning as CNN is breaking down county by county in some of these battleground states.
In Ohio, because of the J.D. Vance situation, they're like, oh, this county right here went to Hillary a few years ago, and et cetera, et cetera.
And we'll work through some of the math in Wisconsin's 1st congressional district a little bit later today. We have Congressman Brian Stile from there. That's a district where you have Rock County that went for Biden, and yet that district elected a Republican for their representative as well. So, that could be one of those districts where as goes Wisconsin's 1st congressional, there goes Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. As goes Wisconsin, there goes the nation. So This thing is super tight. Reason that it's here in Milwaukee. One other thing from the RPW chair, Schimming, he did talk about what was anticipated at the time that former President Donald Trump would appear at the convention hall Monday night.
He's a hero this week. As we're all in prayer and with all our hopes and prayers to the victims in Pennsylvania, I think Donald Trump will actually remind us of what a leader he is, because the injury that he suffered is by far not the most serious of all of them, but it showed where just a couple of inches and we could have had a tragedy on the political scene as well.
So former President Trump did, as we said, enter to music and cheers at the convention Monday night. Bandage on his ear. He is expected to formally accept the nomination in that culminating moment with a speech on Thursday night here in Milwaukee.
How long does he keep that bandage on, do you think?
Well, it looked like it didn't fit right.
Yeah, it was a little big.
It was a little odd, but I suppose everything is optics. Right. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average still about 40,000. In fact, it climbed another 210 points to 40,212. The Nasdaq at 18,473. That was up 74 on Monday, and the S&P 500 up about 16 points to 5631. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you're in town for the RNC or you just love a world-class free dinner, experience the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club this week. Check it out. I love the Fox and Hounds, one of the most affordable and unique dining destinations in Wisconsin. When I want to show off our state, I show off the Fox and Hounds. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner's free. Enjoy a tender steak, your favorite seafood or pasta dish, a big fresh salad, even the steak and lobster, any dinner on the menu. The second one is free. Desserts, I love those, are also buy one, get one free. The Fox and Hounds is tucked into the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest. Spectacular setting just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest is a Wisconsin summer must-see. That patio in the woods is spectacular. Buy one dinner tonight, get one free at the Fox and Hounds, now welcoming reservations for large RNC groups. For everybody in the group, you buy one dinner, you get one free. Visit foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
For all the things you need a Runnings bucket for, here's one more. The annual bucket sale gives you 15% off everything you can fit inside, even sale-priced items. Remember, the bucket is free with a $5 purchase. The bucket sale is happening at all Running stores Friday and Saturday, July 19th and 20th. Shop in-store and fill your bucket with items including clothing, pet supplies, sporting goods, lawn and garden, tools, and more. Some exclusions apply. The bucket sale at Runnings, now with 80 locations. Go to Runnings.com to find the store in your community.
Vince Vitrano for Absolute Comfort HVAC and Electrical. I'm joined by Nicole. She and her husband Brent own the company. Nicole, why should folks call you guys?
Because we treat your home like ours. That means honest and high quality work. We want you to be a part of our family. We're there for your emergencies when you need it, but most important to us is building a long-term relationship for all of your HVAC and electrical needs.
Absolute Comfort HVAC and Electrical, 262-664-9284, yourcomfortguys.com.
It's 6:30. I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's morning news for Tuesday, July 16th. Our top story, reaction to a high-profile day one at the convention and getting ready for day two.
I'm Debbie Lazago, westbound 894, just a little tight west of 27th Street all the way to about 58th. Otherwise, everything else is rolling along just fine. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
On our way to 82, a bit less humid today as well. Right now, Milwaukee at 70 degrees.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The Republican National Convention continuing in Milwaukee. Former President Donald Trump announcing his running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, and making his first appearance at the event with a bandage on his ear following the assassination attempt. ABC News Chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl says the convention itself has taken on a different tone since Saturday's shooting.
This convention yesterday was unlike anything that I have seen in the 2024 Trump campaign. I mean, there was no mention of stolen elections, of January 6th heroes and hostages, revenge and retribution. Those have been the central messages of the Trump campaign, and they were entirely absent, at least on day one of this convention.
The Justice Department planning an appeal in the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case, which was tossed out yesterday. Severe storms in the Midwest, including in and around Chicago, left nearly 500,000 homes and businesses without power in Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 6:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the RNC's Monday evening program featuring an early appearance from a Wisconsin politician. Senator Ron Johnson taking the stage at Fiserv Forum on day one of the convention in Milwaukee. Johnson summing up the Republican Party's pitch to voters ahead of the November general election.
Democrats have forgotten American families. They have abandoned the hardworking middle class. But with President Trump and Republicans, those forgotten Americans are forgotten no more.
Johnson fully supporting the ticket announced on Monday of both former President Donald Trump as well as Ohio's J.D. Vance. Right now in Milwaukee, Mayor Cavalier Johnson speaking once again, his daily briefing ahead of day two of the convention. We'll dip into that conversation here in just a moment. First, we're getting reaction also from Convention Fest as attendees of the RNC react to the selection of J.D. Vance as VP nominee. WTMJ's Sandy Max polling the crowd at the fest between the Baird Center and Panther Arena for their thoughts.
It's not just about picking a VP, it's about picking the next president.
I am very confident in J.D. Vance. I think he's going to be probably one of the greatest vice presidents of all time. He's got a lot of energy. The young people love him.
I think that he brings just a different vibe to the ticket.
He's a great young guy. I think he's a future of the Republican Party.
Vance announced as the VP nominee at Fiserv Forum Monday afternoon. Let's go to Mayor Cavalier Johnson speaking outside City Hall.
In the immediate downtown area, it has been slowed, particularly if you're trying to drive into the vehicle-restricted area. As people become more accustomed to the restrictions, I suspect that traffic snarls are going to ease. The demonstrations that occurred yesterday, they proceeded without any major problems. The largest gathering on Monday went off very peacefully, and I'm happy to report that. That's the one that began over at Red Arrow Park, immediately to our north here. There was one arrest at the end of the gathering for disorderly conduct. Most importantly, no one was hurt, and there was no significant property damage that was reported as a result of these demonstrations. At the designated demonstration areas and parade route, overall, it was a calm day. It was a calm day. It was a peaceful day. There were many registered groups and individuals that actually didn't even show up. It appears only one group actually completed the designated parade route that the city put together. That may have been because they instead chose to go to Red Arrow Park and join the larger group. We don't know that information. There's been a lot of discussion as of late about First Amendment rights as well as Second Amendment rights, and we honor those rights, and of course we'll protect those rights. I want to call attention now to another...
That's Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson speaking at his second presser event outside City Hall today. The theme of day two of the convention, Make America Safe Again. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 634.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line.
414-238-9329. Country's hottest rising star, Riley Green.
There was this girl
Live.
drinking her hand.
August 7th, 7:30 p.m. State Fair Main Stage presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. With special guest Avriana. On sale now at wistatefair.com. Riley Green, live in concert. Wisconsin State Fair presented by U.S. Cellular.
Fleet Farm has all the everyday essentials for your furry friends for less. This week, get a free $15 gift card when you spend $75 or more on Purina pet products. Stock up on favorites like Purina Dog Chow and Bacon Strips for the pups, Cat Chow and Friskies for your felines. Plus, you can order pet food online for convenient delivery right to your front door. Find deals on everything you need for your four-legged friends' everyday lives at Fleet Farm.
I knew there had to be a better way to get relief from joint pain aside from surgery and harmful medications.
That's football legend and dancing champ Emmitt Smith, who knows a thing or two about joint pain.
Turns out I was right. It's called QC Kinetics, and now tens of thousands of patients and counting all across the country, they're feeling amazing. They say, hey, Emmitt, you were right.
QC Kinetics zeroed in on a technology that is revolutionizing pain treatment. They are transforming patients' lives. The largest provider of non-surgical regenerative treatments using natural healing properties to help restore and repair aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs. Call them today for your free consultation.
QC Kinetics. I knew there had to be a better way. I love it when I'm right.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
Home Run Derby is in the books, and the All-Star Game is tonight with two Brewers in the starting lineup. We've got sports at 6:45.
And the latest in the investigation into the attempted assassination coming up in 5 minutes. Right now, though, have you ever cut off a conversation or stopped what you were doing to take a phone call? Like, at what point, if you're doing something else, do you stop? Or when is the phone call so important that you stop whatever it is you're doing?
Well, I guess, it depends on with whom you're speaking in person. You and I are talking, and my wife's calling, and I say, hey, excuse me for a second. Wife, she doesn't usually call now. Let me just check this. So, but if, if we're on the air.
Yeah, what if you were working?
If I'm working.
Would you stop?
Typically, no. It goes to voicemail. Hang on, I'll find out what it is. Right?
The reason I ask is because Lenny Kravitz, the musician, was performing recently when he got a phone call and paused the show so he could take the phone call. And here's the best part. Listen to who the call was from.
I'm sorry. My big brother just called me up on the phone to say hi. Y'all know Denzel Washington?
It was Denzel Washington. So he puts him on FaceTime. He shows him to the crowd. And then he said, hey, I got to go. So he said goodbye and hung up the phone, and they went back to the show.
No offense if I got Denzel on the line here. I'm walking right out of here this morning.
You can take that call.
6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
You're hearing it every day. Another political ad, another agenda. But no matter what happens in this election or the next, you still have the power to control your financial future. Elections can impact a lot of things, including the stock market, inflation, and taxes. And if you're thinking about retirement, I'd love to get you our Retirement Ready Toolkit to prepare you for the retirement you've always envisioned. Our team of advisors at Drake & Associates will show you how your savings might be affected and what you can do now to help prepare. Don't let this election or any election control your retirement future. Call or text PREPARE to 414-441-5451 to get your complimentary Retirement Ready Toolkit. That's PREPARE to 414-441-5451.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for J.D. Griffiths, year 2 of our garage doors from J.D. Griffiths, and we could not be more pleased. Still making the house just pop with these brand new garage doors. J.D. Griffiths, they've been doing it for more than 70 years. Milwaukee's detached garage builders and providers of premier garage doors. They do it all. So they're not only just installing new garage doors, but they have full-time crews, expert carpenters, concrete grading, all that stuff that'll actually build detached garages for you. They do it all. J.D. Griffiths also offering an exclusive offer for you, the WTMJ listener. With any purchase of a new garage door, you can save $100 on your garage door opener. Just call 414-362-7222. Mention me, WTMJ's Eric Bilstead. Or you can go to the website, jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ. They've been doing it for more than 70 years. jdgriffiths.com.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Checking out traffic here 20 minutes before 7 o'clock. Debbie?
All right, it's pretty quiet for the most part. Westbound 94 starting to slow down a little bit from 35th Street through the stadium, and 894 westbound, your usual delays from 27th Street to 68th. Otherwise, right around the downtown area. Of course, remember, we have those checkpoints that we're going to have to go through, but for the most part, everybody's handling things pretty well. Westbound on Michigan Street, I'm seeing some delays, though. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Great weather for the rest of the week. Finally, we have a drier stretch heading our way. Just a small chance for an isolated rain shower today with a cold front moving through. Partly cloudy with high temperatures in the lower 80s. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low temperatures in the 60s. The humidity completely leaves heading into Wednesday. High temperatures in the upper 70s, mostly sunny skies. On Thursday, we're talking mid-70s with more sunshine. Friday, we're back near 80 with mostly sunny skies. Then on Saturday, partly cloudy skies with high temperatures in the lower 80s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Traffic was sponsored by Two Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. Milwaukee at 70 degrees.
Wisconsin's Morning News live from the Republican National Convention in downtown Milwaukee. Learning some more information on the warning signs in the moments before the attempt on former President Donald Trump's life, that shooting on Saturday.
This morning, new details on the attempt on former President Trump's life.
I seen him physically look at us, and he was like looking at us and crawling. And then next thing you know...
Michael DeFriscia captured the moment 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks opened fire, killing one person, sending two others to the hospital.
There he is.
CBS News has learned Secret Service did not sweep the building Crooks shot from, despite it having a direct line of sight to the stage, since it was outside of the security perimeter.
Yeah, it was outside of the perimeter, so they had not been paying attention to it. Video from the scene shows people trying to alert police for 86 seconds before the shots were fired. Now, ABC is reporting that heavily armed police were stationed inside that building. So perhaps that might have been part of the reason why it wasn't swept. It was being used as a law enforcement staging area, but they didn't see Crooks climbing up the outside of the building. Apparently, Crooks bought a ladder from Home Depot. A little bit more now on the 20-year-old, is still trying to establish a motive for the assassination attempt.
Sources say on the day of the rally, Crooks, a member at a local gun club, told his father he was going to the shooting range, and that's when his father gave him the rifle used in the attack. FBI investigators say they've conducted hundreds of interviews and scoured his social media and phone, but a motive remains unclear.
ABC's Lionel Moise there, yeah, so they haven't found any evidence of mental illness, a criminal record, or links to extremist organizations. They do say that he was a member of a local shooting club. All of that now coming into form as they try to figure this one out. Also, we heard from the Secret Service director. She spoke to ABC last night and said the buck stops with her, but she does not intend on stepping down.
You know, I'm surprised that it hasn't been more of a topic of conversation here at the convention. Day one on Monday, talked to a number of delegates, talked to a lot of people. I mean, it was brought up, but it was not the dominant
central
conversation,
focus,
right? Amongst any of the conversations I had with folks tied to this, everybody was talking about it, but it wasn't their exactly. It wasn't their central focus. They were talking about vice presidential pick. They were talking about whether the president was going to be in the venue last night, as he was.
Talking about Milwaukee.
Right. And the mood is festive and celebratory, serious to a degree, but folks are having a good time. It is 6:44. We've got sports coming up next.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts next weekend. For 3 days only, next Friday through Sunday, get 20% off. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts next Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Getting organized doesn't sound like a really fun activity. Not a fun way to spend your day. A lot of work as well. Let's change that. I've got a special offer for you this month. Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets Milwaukee, and a great reason to act right now. You know why they call it that? Katie and Dan, they're a wife-husband team. They're great people. They'd love to see you out at the showroom in Waukesha or pay you an in-home visit. Organization, they say, is not just about tidying up space. It's about transforming your life. They take it pretty seriously. That is Inspired. And it's true. Reducing clutter can reduce stress. And Inspired Closets home solutions are not only functional, but they're beautiful as well. A lot of companies do closets. You want Inspired Closets Milwaukee because they're local. Katie and Dan and their team, they'll listen to you. What are your frustrations? What are your needs? What's your budget? And then they custom design solutions. And then with their amazing computer software, they can show you exactly what your project's going to look like before you buy. Easier than ever to afford right now. Save 10% off. Plus, get 12 months of free financing when you tell them Vinny sent you. This deal runs through July 31st, so you got to move now. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Eric Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
The baseball stars will be out tonight in Texas. Baseball serving up the Midsummer Classic.
The American League and National League meet in the 2024 Major League Baseball All-Star Game in Arlington tonight. National League skipper Bruce Bochy says it's not all fun and games.
You got to, be concerned about the pitchers, their pitch count. And one important role that we have is to send a guy back healthy to his club.
AL skipper Torey Lovello agrees.
My biggest responsibility is to make sure that everybody plays. They're here to play. They've earned that honor, and it probably gives me the most stress.
Lovello named Cy Young Award winner Corbin Burns his All-Star starter. Burns will be opposed by rookie phenom Paul Skeens. Erica Herskowitz for CBS News.
Everyone gets a trophy at the All-Star game.
I think his point's well taken, though. As someone who's a fan of the Brewers, where we'd get one guy,
right?
For how many years, and you'd be like, boy, is our guy even going to get in? Not a problem tonight. We got two starters.
William Contreras and Christian Yelich both starting for the NL, batting 5th and 6th, respectively. Now, on Monday, Dodgers slugger Teoscar Hernandez won the home run derby. So it came down to the final round. The Royals' Bobby Wood Jr. had one last shot to tie it. Listen to this. It hit the wall.
2024 T-Mobile Home Run Derby champ.
It hit the wall, so Hernandez would be your winner in the Derby. The Olympics are drawing closer, Vince. Summer Games are in Paris, and now the torch is who? The torch carried in by BTS star Jin, a K-pop star who just wrapped up his military service in South Korea. This lady among the hordes of fans who just wanted to see him with that flame.
I've been waiting since 1 p.m. till 8 p.m. Yeah. But we've been waiting for a year and a half for him to return from army, so 8 hours is short.
Yeah, so very excited to see him. Of course, the torch is there. The games begin Friday, July 26th.
It's an interesting thing when the torch bearer upstages the torch. I suppose that's often the case. You have famous people. I remember when the torch before the Winter Games came through Milwaukee, and you had Olympian Bonnie Blair up there.
Yeah.
Many others with ties to Wisconsin.
People were out there for 8 or 9 hours waiting to see Bonnie Blair come through.
Pretty cool. We're going to talk about something unique coming to Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo and his brothers, they have this academy, this basketball academy. It's a thing they launched for low-income athletes in Athens. It is coming to Milwaukee. We're going to talk with friend of the program, Lori Nickel, about that next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The Political Power Hour with Steve Scaffidi.
If it's good law, it stands the test of time. That's the process. There's nothing that's absolute about politics.
Hearing from political experts from across Wisconsin and beyond.
They should have never done that debate last night.
Trump lied more than 50 times throughout the night. I'm looking at a memo from the Biden campaign, their dial groups.
Oh, so we can trust everything in that memo?
Weekdays from 9 to 10 on WTMJ.
Of Wisconsin. I tell you, I'm in a perpetual state of discomfort here. Eric and I are live at the Republican National Convention, and my chair's too low. I can't put my knee out. I've been struggling with the knee lately.
I know. The knee's been bothering
This is going to end up sending me to Ortho, Wisconsin to see my doc. Listen, if you're struggling with something, anything, these docs at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin want to keep you in the game. So maybe it's something where you don't need a surgical procedure. In fact, most often patients who go to see the docs at OAW don't end up in surgery. They'll try to find another way to keep you doing the things that you love and enjoy. And if you do need that procedure, I had my torn meniscus repaired a number of years ago. You know you're in the best of hands at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Walk right in an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online anytime at orthowisconsin.com.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Ridiculous fees, robocalls, customer service that's lacking the actual service. It sounds like you might be getting bullied by your bank. You don't have to settle. At Wintrust, we take a different approach. Whether you need banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future, Wintrust has local experts ready to lend a hand. Stop banking the same way expecting different results and start banking where you matter at wintrust.com/no-bully. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp. Banks, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's a super meat sale at Sendik's. Delicious store-made gourmet burgers are just $5.99 per pound, and boneless, skinless chicken thighs are just $2.99 per pound. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Debbie, for folks who might be making their way into downtown, it's not nothing, but the traffic situation at some of those checkpoints appears to be much better today.
Much better. They were going 2 cars at a time at the Michigan and Plankington one when I went through. So we are seeing some delays, though, on the eastbound side of State Street, eastbound side of Wells, heading into those zones. So that's something to keep in mind. We're still seeing the buildup of traffic heading into those checkpoints. You just want to be extra careful. On the freeway, though, your usual backups from about 25th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Also westbound 894, a little bit backed up out of the Loomis area all the way to 68th. Pretty quiet otherwise the rest of the area. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. And it starts to get nice. Partly cloudy, humidity beginning to drop today with a high of just 82 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 66. Wednesday's high 78. Thursday mostly sunny and 75 degrees. And Friday mostly sunny skies with a high of 80. Right now 70 in Milwaukee. Live from UWM Panther Arena, the Republican National Convention. So not talking sports from the arena today, the sport of politics here in Wisconsin. But we'll talk a little bit more sports. 2-time Sports Writer of the Year for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Lori Nickel, friend of the program, on with us this morning. Hi, Lori.
Good morning. Hi.
Hey, Lori, you'll appreciate this. So on Monday, there was a 10 a.m. news briefing, RNC news briefing in the Baird Center. And it's the first one, at the convention that just stepped off. So Vince and I are like, okay, we're going to go to that. I'm going to go check it out and see what they say and all that. So we get there, we got to check in. And, it takes some time, so they want to know who's all in there. We get in there, there's rows and rows of cameras.
Two platforms set up for all the, for the cameras.
Yeah. All these and then there's all these seats, and they're filling up quickly, and we grab a seat near the back just because we didn't want to get in the way and all that. And Vince is asking me what questions we're going to talk about, and I'm like, well, we got, who knows. Anyway, right before it starts, guy comes on and goes, hey, by the way, I don't know if anyone was misled here, but this is just a planning off-the-record session for media, just to let you know what's planned. So cameras, need your cameras off. And Vince and I look at each other like, oh, my gosh. And Vince goes, well, what a waste of time. He yells that out. What are we doing here?
How can you have an off-the-record event? How is that even possible? There's nothing off the record.
I agree with you. And you're big into the journalism aspect of what you do. Here's the problem for me is now you've got a room of 1,000 people who've been told information that they're supposedly not supposed to share. We tell people stuff for a living. Not a good idea.
In their defense, they do need to get some information out ahead of time so there's planning purposes for when they know if someone's going to be there. Do you need to have extra staff if the president shows up? Just different random stuff like that. So in their defense, I think that was the idea behind
why it's done.
Which was very helpful. But at the same time, when there's that many people, I just love that Vetrano made sure everyone knew how he felt about the situation.
Yeah, he's so shy, so it's hard to understand how he feels about everything. You need to open up more, Vince.
I shouldn't be allowed out, to be honest with you, Lori. Listen, I did want to get to this with you because the Antetokounmpo's Academy is coming to Milwaukee. Is that right?
Yeah, this is the first time, Giannis Antetokounmpo and his family started this huge foundation a couple of years ago. And one of the satellite or branches of that foundation is the Antetokounmpo's Academy. And that's been going on in Greece, in Athens, Greece, for several years now. But it's the first time it's making an appearance here in Milwaukee. It'll be later this month. It starts July 29th. It'll be a week long, and it's really cool. They went through like an interview process, and they have 80 kids from families in need who are between the ages of 14 and 16 years old, and they participate in this camp and life skills event for the whole week for free, transportation, everything included. And I think it's going to be really unique because it's the first time we'll get to see it here in person.
Are the brothers active in it, Lori? Do they interact with the kids?
They're so active in it. In fact, they check in regularly with this because it's so personal to them. A lot of these kids are refugees, believe it or not, and come from families all over the world. And so I believe, they were just with the kids a couple of weeks ago. They check in with the directors in Greece, all the time. They try to make appearances as much as possible. This is really personal for them because they want it to be not just about education and teaching life skills and boosting the kids' morale, but they also want it to be about basketball. And I love that it is 50% boys, 50% girls. That's a huge part of Giannis, Thanasis, Alex, all the brothers. It's a big part of how they all feel about the equality there.
Can you imagine? That makes someone. That's a story for life. That can imprint someone for life. It's not everyone has that ability to be able to do that, and Giannis and the Antetokounmpo family does, and that's just awesome. They got to love that.
It's really cool. Although this year, I wonder if it's a little bit of I imagine we know Giannis will be in Paris for the Olympics during this camp, and I'm imagining Thanasis will be there as well. So they probably won't be in Milwaukee to make an appearance, but I expect that in future years that's something that they might check in on. We'll see, but it's great to get it off the ground and get it started, and it will be unique to kind of have this camp going on while Giannis is also playing in the Olympics around the same time.
Friend of the program, Lori Nickel, on with us this morning. We'll ask the tough questions for you today at the news conference, Lori. I just can't tell you what they say.
Please do. Okay. I'll send you a list. Right. Be safe, guys.
Take care. Wisconsin's Morning News live from the Republican National Convention, 6:58 on this Tuesday morning.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport seeking bids for new international terminal. The airport has submitted a request for a proposal for the demolition of existing Concourse E and the construction of a new international terminal building. Bids are due on July 25th. New Turkish restaurant opening this fall. The yet-to-be-named restaurant will be inside a former warehouse at 9709 West Appleton Avenue. Owners are expecting an October opening. The Daily Show cancels Milwaukee tapings. After planning for months to broadcast the show from the Marcus Performing Arts Center in downtown Milwaukee, the show will instead be filmed in New York City Tuesday through Thursday. The show will not broadcast Monday. I'm Logan Hansen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Merck here. If you're like me, your home is your happy place, and you spend a lot of time there, and this may have renewed your focus on home projects, let me tell you the company you need to work with. It's the company I trust, CertaPro Painters. Each business is independently owned and operated right here. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They did the work in our house. Absolutely fantastic. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose Happy, choose CertaPro Painters. Exterior painting still getting booked for the summer. Work with CertaPro Painters.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin.
For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin, the buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. As you age, you start noticing pain in your joints that didn't used to be there. But you don't have to live in pain. When joint pain becomes a reality, schedule your free pain evaluation with Rejuvenex. We'll find where your pain lives and inject powerful, FDA-approved medicines that reduce inflammation and pain, while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees, with some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. While treatments like stem cells can cost close to $10,000 per joint, at Rejuvenex, the cost for your injection can be as low as $65, and almost all major insurance plans cover our treatments, so you may not have to pay anything at all. Call us now to schedule your free pain evaluation, because I'm pretty sure we can help you. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
The Republican National Convention is officially here in Milwaukee. Keep it tuned here for the most in-depth coverage of every angle of the RNC. This is Decision Wisconsin, presented by Pasternak and Zergabel. We are your central hub for all things RNC. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 7:02. I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Tuesday, July 16th. Our top story, a theme of safety on day 2 of the RNC.
I'm Debbie Laziga, westbound on 94, a little bit backed up from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And westbound 894 is going to be a bit tight from just before Loomis all the way to 68 through that construction zone. Otherwise, for the most part, the rest of the freeway system looking good. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy, your storm team forecast from meteorologist Tyler Moore. 82 the high, not as humid as Monday. We'll get down to 63 tonight, staying dry for your Wednesday. It'll be a very pleasant day with a high of 78 and mostly sunny skies. Right now, 72 and some light clouds in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, day 2 of the Republican National Convention kicking off later this morning in downtown Milwaukee with the theme of Make America Safe Again. Keeping with the theme, at his presser earlier this morning, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson saying 2 people were arrested on day 1 of the convention Monday.
One occurred in the afternoon, an individual who was climbing a fence into a restricted area. By the way, this was his second arrest related to the RNC in 2 days for incidents around the convention. A second arrest was in the evening. An individual was blocking traffic and did not move when officers repeatedly asked her to do so.
Mayor Johnson says an additional person was arrested during protests Monday for disorderly conduct. The big story from day 1, Donald Trump and his new running mate J.D. Vance arriving at the RNC Monday evening to accept their party's nomination for the ticket. News Nation's Rashad Hughes-Hudson in Milwaukee.
America got its first look at former President Donald Trump since the attempted assassination. Delegates erupted in cheers when he arrived at the Republican National Convention and brought his pick for vice president. Ohio Senator J.D. Vance will be Donald Trump's running mate. Delegates made Trump's presidential nomination official with the ceremonial roll call of states.
Trump will officially accept the nomination on Thursday. As for today, former South Carolina governor and previous Trump rival Nikki Haley will speak later tonight to continue the theme of unity. Also happening today on the other side of the political aisle, President Biden is in Nevada today, expected to propose new steps to cap rent increases across the country.
The complaint heard coast to coast, the rent is too high. Up 9% in Las Vegas in the past 3 years. President Biden today visiting that city and expected to call on Congress to pass legislation that would prevent landlords from raising rent by more than 5% each year. Landlords who don't comply could be punished by not receiving federal tax breaks. The proposal would need to be passed by both the House and Senate to take effect. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Coming up, a tragic anniversary of a plane crash into the Atlantic Ocean. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:05.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Wow, Wayne, that is a beautiful window.
It sure is, Jeff. It really tackles energy efficiency.
Sure has a nice slide.
It's one of the best screenplays I've ever seen.
They're so easy to close. I'd say it's a grand slam.
If you guys keep making those dad jokes, you're going to be a real pain in my neck.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you hear about this one?
While those two go on and on, let me share something that is not a joke. Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and pay as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. The installation is completed with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. A new patio door or front door makes for the perfect backstop. How is that one, guys? Ugh, they're gone. Jeff and Wayne love doing the Irish goodbye. Anyway, moving on from the dad jokes, don't miss this great deal from Pella. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply at 7/31/2024.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:07. It's the All-Star Game tonight in Texas, and it follows an interesting home run derby start at Globe Life Field. We'll have that in sports coming up at 7:15. Eerie sounds throughout Chicago. Tornado sirens, a rare thing in the Windy City. Severe weather conditions, including a tornado striking the city Monday night. It forced hundreds of travelers at O'Hare International to take shelter, some inside a plane on the tarmac, all part of a severe weather system that brought over 100-mile-per-hour winds to parts of Illinois and Iowa, while southeast Wisconsin mainly saw heavy downpours and river flooding from the storms. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in about 4 minutes. Speaking of flooding, a new plan to keep American Family Fields safe from floodwaters hopes to prevent a jump in insurance premiums. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is reporting that the Wisconsin Professional Baseball Park District will be spending $500,000 on flood prevention measures, including the installation of floodgates at the stadium's north loading dock. That measure, one of 4 projects approved by the district board Monday. The last flood impacting the ballpark was in 2009, when heavy downpours caused water to rush over from the stadium freeway. And today marking 25 years since a small plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, killing 3 people, including President Kennedy's only surviving son.
25 years ago today, John F. Kennedy Jr. was at the controls of his Piper Saratoga. On board, his wife Carolyn and her sister Lauren Bissett. They were bound for a stop in Martha's Vineyard, then Cape Cod for his cousin's wedding. But their plane never arrived.
We have the FAA, the Air National Guard, and the Coast Guard searching for the plane of John F. Kennedy Jr.
The nation held out hope, but on July 21st, Navy divers recovered the bodies of the 3 in the wreckage of the plane more than 100 feet below the surface. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 7:09.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scaffidi. Right now, receive 0% financing for 60 months. That is 5 years. Restrictions apply. Tell them I sent you and get an additional $250 off your project for the last windows you'll ever need. Go to UWD.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Celebrate 42 years of tradition at Milwaukee's Original House Party. Join us on Milwaukee's beautiful lakefront, July 26th, 27th, and 28th for authentic German food, music, beer, and dancing. Experience the excitement of the Glockenspiel, Dachshund-Derby, Culture Village, Mardi Gras Show, Trauchenschau, Sheep's Head Tournament, and much more. For more information, tickets, and admission discounts, visit GermanFest.com. Don't miss the fun. See you at GermanFest. Holla!
Checking in with Debbie Lozica here at 710.
All right, westbound on the bypass. We've got backups from just before Loomis all the way to 68th Street. Little tight westbound 94 right in the stadium interchange. We're seeing some delays heading into those checkpoints around the downtown area. Just heads up, Wells Street starting to back up towards the freeway. We've also got some more backups on State Street, where the backup is heading into the Water Street and State Street checkpoint, I should say. Plankington and Michigan, that seems to be the problem area yesterday. Looks like it's doing a little bit better today. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy and the humidity dropping today with an isolated shower possible and a high of 82 degrees. Tonight's low down to 66. And then sunshine for the rest of the week with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s Wednesday and Thursday. Mostly sunny Friday, high of 80. Right now, it is 70 degrees in Milwaukee.
This is WTMJ at the Republican National Convention.
I formally declare President Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance as the Republican nominees for President and Vice President of the United States.
Now broadcasting live from Media Row at the Panther Arena inside the RNC. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Eric Bilstad and Vince Petrano.
Live with you once again this Tuesday morning from the Republican National Convention. 2 days in and 2 days to go at the close of business today. Milwaukee's big handshake with the world, right, Eric? Our moment in the sun, the spotlight. All eyes on Milwaukee this week. How are we doing?
This year's convention takes place in beautiful Milwaukee, Wisconsin, also known as Brew City, Beer City, and all of the other cities are worried about you city.
Okay, Stephen Colbert doing his late show on CBS Live after the convention. Need another good crack.
Now, if you're in Milwaukee and you can't get into the convention, there is an official convention watch party every day this week at a local pub called, and this is true, Drink Wisconsinly. Lovely.
Let him finish it. Here it goes.
Bravo. Truly one of the best state and warning label themed bars in the country.
So there you go. How are we looking to the nation right now?
So it's interesting because of the lawmakers that are here, the high-profile politicians or former politicians, want to make sure that we like them also. It's going both ways. Here's former House Speaker Newt Gingrich talking to Libby Collins.
How do you like Wisconsin so far?
Well, I love Wisconsin. My wife's from Whitehall. My son-in-law is from Sheboygan. We own a share of Packer stock. I like cheese curds and I like brats.
That pretty much covers it, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
I also like craft beer and also Molson Coors beer. I also like the brewers, and I like things that are free.
Yeah, one time I went to Summerfest. Like you have to, you know what? They should list that on your credential. You know, the thing that you wear around. These are my Wisconsin bona fides.
I've also heard of Summerfest. Here's another one. This is Libby catching up with Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. Listen to this. She asked a question, and hear what his response is.
Can you just tell us if you feel that the Trump-Vance ticket can win Wisconsin?
Well, let me say this first. I love Milwaukee. I may never leave, okay? It's awfully hot in Louisiana. I love it.
It's pretty hot here, too.
Did I mention that I love Milwaukee? Now, what was your question?
What you asking
yes,
me?
ma'am, but let me first ingratiate myself here to the good people of Milwaukee and Wisconsin.
So, yeah, everyone very approachable so far here at the RNC.
Hey, can I tell you something else, though? I kind of appreciate it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay,
Thanks for making me feel good.
Say nice things about us in our area. 7:14, sports up next.
I was stuffed up. It was almost like someone put a clothespin over my nose. As an athlete, it did affect my performance. And as I got older, the congestion and poor sleep, really took their toll.
Mike's a lifetime athlete. After hearing about Advent, he felt he could finally find a solution to his breathing triangle problems.
With my congestion, the kind of sleep I was getting wasn't allowing me to function the way I wanted to.
When your nose isn't working like it should be, it's going to negatively affect your sleep. And then you really can't be at your best at anything that you're doing.
It's been about 5 years since coming to Advent, and what balloon sinuplasty did for my quality of life, that step I took was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Balloon sinuplasty can help solve your breathing triangle problems, which will help you sleep better. And that's going to help you live a better quality of life.
Unlock your potential. Go to adventnose.com to schedule your appointment, because when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Eager to remodel your kitchen, bath, or rec room? This is Rob Adair, and we're ready with a personal redesign for you. Adair Floors and Remodeling in Franklin. Give us a call and get personal care from Adair. 761-3660. AdairFloors.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Eric Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
The Midsummer Classic is tonight. Major League Baseball All-Star Game from Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. I should have asked you if you knew where Globe Life Field was. I wonder if you would have been able to guess that one.
Well, I would have just because I knew the game. Well, I mean, if I didn't know if there hadn't been the All-Star hype, I'd say Globe Life Field.
Anyway.
What is Globe Life even? Insurance? Yeah, right. Okay.
Christian Yelich and William Contreras are on the starting lineup for the NL. Contreras will bat fifth. Yelich will bat sixth. They're the only All-Stars from Milwaukee at the game tonight. However, the starting pitcher for the AL is someone you know. It's Corbin Burns. Yes, former crew member will be on the mound for the AL. On the National League side of things, another name that you should recognize. Paul Skeens. Yep, Paul Skeens.
All right, Skeensy.
The rookie phenom who no-hit the Brewers through 7 last week will start for the NL. He is having himself a year, by the way. I think he won the Cubs World Series not that long ago. He's dating the most popular TikToker in the world, and he's also on a team where he's throwing near no-hitters and starting for the NL, and he's like 21 years old.
Watch him get shelled tonight, one time when we need him.
Right. Speaking of getting shelled, on Monday, the bombs were hit. The home run derby took place. Dodgers slugger Teoscar Hernandez winning the derby. The Royals, Bobby Wood Jr., had a shot at the end. One last shot to tie the game. It bounced off the wall in the third round. So Hernandez is your winner. Before the game, this was actually more memorable. Before the actual derby was this. Yeah, she probably wants that back. 4-time Grammy-nominated country music star Ingrid Andress becoming the latest singer to struggle a little bit with the anthem. It got pretty bad. She had to actually disable her Instagram account because people were kind of ripping it.
Well, that's too bad. But why did that happen?
I'm not sure. I don't think it was intended to mock. I just think it was her style. Just maybe she was nervous. I don't know.
Did we have a run through? Don't play it again. Don't.
The Republican National Convention is officially here in Milwaukee, and we'll be broadcasting live from the middle of it all right here on WTMJ all week long. Catch our regular WTMJ programming, as well as special programming, live from Media Row inside the RNC. Decision Wisconsin is presented by Pasternak and Zergabel. We are your central hub for everything RNC. News Radio WTMJ.
For absolute comfort, HVAC and electrical. With the forecast cooling off, great time. You get a break, maybe a little bit of relief. How'd your air conditioner unit do during the last heat stretch? You need to get that thing checked out. Is it not cooling your house as efficiently as it should? I've got your HVAC guy. It's your comfort, guys. Absolute comfort, HVAC and electrical. You know how it works, too. You wake up in the night and just doesn't feel right. It's a little humid in the house, or it's not as cool as you thought it was. I thought I turned that thing down. No, fan's not blowing. That's no good. You call Nicole and Brent over there, Absolute Comfort, HVAC and electrical. Local, family-owned. Brent's son Drew works for the company as well. He's the guy who serviced my AC unit back in the spring. Tell him Vinny sent you. If you need them out as quickly as they can get there for an emergency repair, or you just want them to give your air conditioner a tune-up, get that thing running right, I've got your HVAC guy. It's your comfort, guys. 262-664-9284, yourcomfortguys.com.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors, LLC, APA. Osaic Wealth and APA are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and APA.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Traffic and weather at 7:21. Hi, Debbie Lazago.
Hey there, Eric. We've got westbound 894 really kind of slowing down now. It's not overly a lot, but it is pretty typical, slowing down from 27th Street all the way to 68th through the construction zone. Otherwise, everything else seems to be rolling along pretty well. We're definitely seeing some backups heading into those checkpoints around the downtown area, but it's pretty much doable at this point. Hey, by the way, while you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you do happen to see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast. Good news, the humidity is starting to drop. High of 82 today. Should be a really nice summer day. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 66. Wednesday, even better news. Humidity is gone on Wednesday, a high of 78. Thursday, 75. Friday, 80. Saturday, 82. Sunny every day. Summer officially here. No rain for the rest of the way.
Live from the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, Eric Bilstead, Vince Vitrano with you from UWM Panther Arena, the broadcast center dubbed Media Row. Joining us live here this morning from the House of Representatives, Wisconsin's 1st Congressional District, Congressman Brian Stile. Nice to see you again, sir.
Hey, good to see you guys.
Great for having you come by. So I want to start with this. You represent maybe one of the more purple districts in our state. You are my congressman. I'm Southern Milwaukee County. You've got Kenosha, Racine, Walworth, Rock County in there. This is a this is a district that sent you back to Congress. However, certain parts of the district actually went for Biden in 2020. Are people wondering what the formula is? This could be a district where, as goes 1st Congressional in Wisconsin, could go Wisconsin.
Yeah, southeast Wisconsin, that corner is the swing area of the state. It's blue dots, it's red dots, and it's about two things. One, it's about persuasion. It's about talking to people about the issues that are in front of us and the policies that we need to put in place to move our country forward. We got to talk about inflation, how everything's more expensive than it was before, what we can do to address reckless spending, how do we bring inflation down, how do we secure the U.S.-Mexico border, right? We had policies in place that had it secure. You come into the Biden administration, he unwinds a lot of that. We've had real significant challenges with fentanyl, with drug trafficking, and we also had migrant communities move into the state, which has been a real challenge to a lot of our first responders in school districts. The second piece of this is going to be a turnout game. We got to make sure that every person gets out and votes this November, in particular, obviously, those in support of the conservative cause for me. But it's about showing up. And showing up is so absolutely essential. You go to the 4th of July, did 5 4th of July parades, covered 20 miles on my feet. President Trump was in Racine, Wisconsin, now about 3 weeks ago. He's obviously in Milwaukee this week. Coming to the state of Wisconsin, talking directly to voters, I think that's what gets it across the line at the end of the day.
Were you surprised by the J.D. Vance pick?
I was somewhat surprised in the sense that, there was a great list of men and women who I thought could do the job. J.D. Vance, though, is a good pick. And, he comes from the state of Ohio, and in many ways, Ohio has faced some of the same challenges that Wisconsin's faced. Both states, a great history of manufacturing, saw the same challenges where jobs were leaving our states, and far too often business leaders were moving those jobs overseas. We have a huge opportunity, in particular as we've come out of the pandemic, recognizing how essential it is that our supply chain is here in the United States, that we're not dependent on communist China. Now is the moment in time to make sure we're doing everything we can to bring those jobs back into the United States and really take advantage of high-tech manufacturing. J.D. Vance is a guy from Ohio, understands that, and I think it'll play well in Wisconsin.
Talking with the Wisconsin's 1st Congressional District, Congressman Paul Ryan, live from the Republican National... Geez, I'm sorry, sir. Ryan Style. On that issue, well, let me bring this up since I mentioned his name. You know better than anyone some of the pressures that then Speaker Ryan was under in the Trump administration. This is a difficult president, from where I sit, for Congress to do business with, even members of the same party. He can kill legislation with a post on social media. How will you, if President Trump is reelected here or elected once again, how will you do business with this president?
President Trump is tough, but I think that's a good thing. And so when we're in particular negotiating with foreign countries, we're just talking about trade agreements, we need a president of the United States that goes in there and plays hardball on behalf of American workers. That is President Trump's overall nature. I mean, he grew up in New York City, right? He was in a totally different rough and tumble kind of negotiating world. We need that type of a negotiating stance on behalf of American workers. And so I actually like that part of President Trump, that he's going to put up with no nonsense. He's willing to run over the top of special interests on behalf of workers, on behalf of families. I think at the end of the day, that's good for America.
All right, so which parties have you been to and which parties are you going to? Like, please, let us live vicariously through your crazy RNC times.
Prepare to be incredibly bored. I was at the Pfizer Forum last night. I wrapped up my day. I joined WISN TV. And I got out of the Pfizer Forum in the pouring rain about 11:30, made it home. Finally got to bed about 1, and I was up at about 4:45 a.m. I joined a couple TV stations, made it over to you guys. And so if you're trying to live vicariously through me, I do not suggest doing that.
Well, as long as we're on topics that are tough to, or not quite as exciting or sexy, I did want to make sure I asked you about this, because one of the planks in the platform, we're talking with Congressman Brian Style of Wisconsin's 1st Congressional, one of the planks in the party platform is Social Security. Leave it alone, do not change the retirement age, and do not cut benefits. You know those numbers and that math in the House perhaps as well as anyone. That sounds like we've seen this movie before. It's a campaign promise that's made on the trail. It's never delivered on. The math doesn't work out to do that unless there's some plan we don't know.
So this is about making sure that we're protecting Social Security for seniors, in particular seniors in retirement and those approaching retirement age. What we need to do is, when we look at it, is how do you grow the overall pie? The pie is a big piece of this puzzle. If we have economic growth, that is a huge piece of this. The other piece is we look at the massive reckless spending that we've seen, in particular in the first 2 years of the Biden administration, over $7 trillion in spending. When we think about the overall spending puzzle, we need to be really concerned about the new government program spending, because what we need to be focused in on is protecting our core programs, in particular not only Social Security, but also Medicare and our veterans benefits.
But President Trump was a deficit spender as well.
The pox on everybody's house in Washington, D.C., from my view, on the overall spending that's come out. Some of the spending we saw there was coming into COVID. I think there was an overreaction by our federal government and by governments across the board as it relates to how we responded to COVID. That said, a lot of that spending is directly resulting from the COVID era spending, where we wanted to make sure that people were not in a position where they would lose their home or unable to pay a grocery bill. Coming out of that is where we need to get ourselves back in line and back on track.
Congressman Brian Style from Wisconsin's 1st Congressional. Great to see you, sir. Appreciate you stopping by.
Great to see you.
And tell Congressman Ryan hello for us. News about your money this morning. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at 40,212. That was up more than 200 points in trading on Monday. The NASDAQ up 74 to 18,473. And the S&P 500 at 5631. That was up about 16 points. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. And joining us today, Jeff Salasinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, last time you were here, we had some pretty awful storms. That really hasn't changed. Here we are again. Entire Midwest has just been plagued with severe weather.
Yeah, you're right, Vince. Some of these Midwestern storms have been off the charts. The destruction, power outages, roof damage, uprooted trees, structures completely lost, and some of the wildfires out west have been extreme. When this devastation occurs, the last thing you want to discover is that you're not properly insured. Not being adequately insured can significantly strain your finances or in some cases destroy you financially.
So what should property owners be doing to protect themselves, Jeff?
Well, it's not complicated. Your home's value has likely increased, and the cost to repair it or rebuild it has too. You need to determine if your limit insurance is enough. Chances are it's too low. We see it all the time. In fact, it's almost a certainty that your premiums are up, your deductible's been increased, and the coverage for your roof has been pulled back.
Well, shouldn't your insurance agent be talking about all this stuff with you?
Yes, they should. And if they're not, you're with the wrong agency. You need someone that understands these market dynamics, follows them, uses data, and can keep you informed. R&R Insurance will stay on top of these issues and design a custom solution for you. Our scale, our strong relationships with insurance carriers allow each customer to find the best coverage at a competitive price. We understand how to present your account to the market, get carriers to compete for your business, and you have to be willing to work with an agent who can quote business from more than one company. If you work with an agent that can only give you one quote, you're limiting your competition and you're going to pay higher premiums.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
It's 7:31. I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Tuesday, July 16th. Our top story, reaction continues from a busy day one at the RNC.
I'm Debbie Laziga, westbound on 894, slowing down now from 20th Street all the way to 68th through the construction zone there. Otherwise, everything else on the freeway system is rolling along just fine. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Be gone humidity in your storm team forecast from meteorologist Tyler Moore. Will still be a little bit humid today, but not nearly as bad as yesterday. High today of 82, down to 67 overnight tonight. Mid to upper 70s and very pleasant for your Wednesday. Right now, 71 in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, it is day 2 of the Republican National Convention coming up later today in Milwaukee. The big highlight from day 1, former President and now GOP nominee Donald Trump making his first appearance since an assassination attempt against him Saturday, making that appearance last night at Fiserv Forum. Our own John Mercure was in the room as he arrived.
I'm inside an energized Fiserv Forum where Donald Trump has just entered the building, greeted the crowd. He walked in with a heavy white bandage on his right ear, a big smile on his face, a red tie. I was 10 feet from the president as he waved to the crowd, and the former president seemed energized, seemed calm, seemed to bask in the red, white, and blue here inside Fiserv Forum. He's in his seat now, taking in the rest of the speakers for the evening. In Fiserv Forum, John Mercure, WTMJ News.
The other big news of day 1, the announcement of J.D. Vance from Ohio as the vice presidential pick. Former Governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker, adding his voice to the chorus of endorsements for Vance, telling WTMJ.
He's a Midwesterner, but more importantly, he's someone who gets the forgotten men and women. His family, as he wrote about in his book, they lived in poverty, they suffered from drug addiction, they made their way out, and I think for a lot of Americans, particularly those who've had to deal with overdose deaths the last year, they know we need someone who's going to fight for them.
Walker saying the RNC in Milwaukee so far has been a, quote, smashing success. Other stories we're following for you this morning. One person is dead after a shooting Monday evening near 35th and Cortland on Milwaukee's north side. A 39-year-old pronounced dead at an area hospital earlier this morning. Milwaukee police seeking unknown suspects. Meanwhile, 2 men have been charged in connection to a robbery at a Sussex bank earlier this month. 31-year-old Jules Baller of Milwaukee and 38-year-old Shane Tillman of Antigo have each been charged with a single count of robbery of a financial institution for the incident happening July 9th. Baller allegedly told a bank teller to hurry or that he would shoot, though no weapon was displayed. The criminal complaint notes between $4,000 and $5,000 was taken from the bank. Milwaukee Public Schools moving one step closer to electing an interim superintendent.
The Board of School Directors announcing that it has interviewed its final 3 candidates for the position. If a candidate is picked and accepts the job, the board says the appointment will be formalized at a future board meeting. MPS still anticipates having an interim superintendent in place before the beginning of this upcoming school year. Dr. Tina Owen Moore has also been hired by the district as board clerk for the Office of Board Governance. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
And Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport officials are preparing for potential reuse of a long-dormant concourse. The airport submitting a request for proposals for the demolition of the existing Concourse E and the construction of a new international terminal building. The project has been in the works since 2016, but has repeatedly encountered price increases. Barring more of those increases, the project is anticipated to begin as early as 2025. Bids for the project are due on July 25th. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 7:35.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
It's a super meat sale at Sendik's. Delicious store-made gourmet burgers are just $5.99 per pound, and boneless, skinless chicken thighs are just $2.99 per pound. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Coming up, roll it up, please. Roll it up. News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler, Jeep Dodge Ram.
$1 in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy one, two, or a set of four. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street and Jefferson. Griffin Chevrolet in the Auto Mall. Griffin Ford, Waukesha, and Fort Atkinson. 5 ways to make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Every great Midwest bank branch has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Michael Quizon is IT Systems Administrator. Michael, the bank has a slogan.
We are called Simply Local. We're a Simply Local bank.
And your business technology company, James Imaging Systems, has been a 100% locally owned and managed company right here in Wisconsin for over 40 years.
They're more like a partner to us.
In what way?
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they were there.
James Imaging Systems, document imaging technology, and local service and support.
We can get our printers up and running right away if we have any issues. We can do our business without any downtime at all.
The benefit to Great Midwest Bank?
Efficient operations, time savings on my end. There's no other partner that we can bring on.
Start your partnership with James Imaging Systems today. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:37. 2 Brewers in the All-Star game tonight. We got sports coming up at 7:45. Boy, I tell you what, E, the teleprompter operator at this convention has already taken some.
What does that mean?
So I was in the convention hall at Fiserv Forum right after the official nomination was complete of former President Trump. He is now the GOP nominee for president in 2024. House Speaker Mike Johnson is up there reading the thing, whatever, and then there's a transition, and I don't know if it was not clear or if he was done and they had accidentally advanced, but you can see it sometimes in the background of the TV coverage if you're watching along. These giant screens with the words. These are huge teleprompters. I have not seen speakers bringing up a paper copy of their speech or remarks.
Might be rules about that. It's cleaner look if you don't have those papers.
Well, pretty risky, because sometimes what's up in front of you ain't right. I promise you, I got experience in that for many years. So at the end of Speaker Johnson, he said, well, and I just lost the teleprompter. Now, what I think happened is the prompter advanced to the next section. He was supposed to be done, but the teleprompter, how it works is, at least when I was working, it's almost like a mouse. Okay.
You scroll it.
And a prompter operator has to scroll, and it's a skill. It's not the hardest job in America, but it is a skill that has to be done, and it's a very important job as that person because you have to adapt to the speaker's cadence and speed. There were a few times, if you were watching yesterday, I saw it particularly in one of the speeches where the speaker was getting close to, I'm aware of this because this speaks to me, I can see the speakers on like the last couple of words, and the next words have not advanced up. And I'm thinking like, gotta scroll up, gotta scroll up. There's nothing more frightening in the world than the next words that are supposed to be out of your mouth, not there yet. Right? So I speak from experience, but there have been a couple of issues with that. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, apparently the prompter loaded the wrong speech. And I don't know if that's the operator's problem or someone else's, in the chain of where that speech was and approved. But, jeez.
Then you read whatever's in front of you, I guess. I don't know.
I guess.
I mean, it still is just a teleprompter.
I suppose you're still in control of whatever comes out of your mouth. If it doesn't look right in there, I guess say it different. But in that moment,
I get it.
Right? You expect what you wrote or what you prepared to be there. It's just a computer. Sometimes the computer goes out. Sometimes the operator goes out. I had a guy fall asleep on me on the morning show once. Literally, the man was asleep. I kid you not. You think I'm joking. All of a sudden, the words just stopped moving.
Then you just made it up.
Get your little paper script ready to go. This news report brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com.
It's Black Friday in July at Steinhoffels. Get amazing deals on closeouts and bonus buys like buy one, get one free swivel stools. Create your outdoor oasis and save up to $1,300 on select patio collections. And make your new room even more affordable when you use Steinhoffels' 18-month financing. Steinhoffels has something for everyone. It's Black Friday in July at Steinhoffels. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. If you have at least $750,000 or more in investable assets, we can help you transition into the retirement you've worked so hard to achieve. Our 1-hour retirement planning consultation will help you walk away with the answers to your most critical retirement questions. If you're close to or already retired, give our office a call today at 262-522-4040 or visit thekowalway.com to schedule your complimentary no-obligation retirement review.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
Hey, this is Steve Scaffidi for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. You know that. 5 years driving their great vehicles. Last week was moving week. I dropped off the 2023 Ford Explorer XLT, picked up a 2023 Chevy Equinox. A couple things going on here. One, I love the Chevy Equinox. Great vehicle. A little smaller than the Explorer, but still plenty of room. Kathy and I are going to buy a Chevy Equinox in the summer this year, so we want to see all the features and all the cool stuff. They're loaded. Great gas mileage, all kinds of cool trim levels, a lot of safety features, including the rear vision camera, which we remarked on how clear that picture was. Lane keep assist, all kinds of technology. You get that with Chevy, and all the great models and experiences you find at Heiser Automotive. You can find all of their great cars online at Heiser.com, all the great programs, including Safe and Sound, Roadside Assistance for Life. That's why they say every day at Heiser, and you know this to be true, and I know it from working with them. Every day. Today's your day.
Westbound on 94, watch out for some delays from 27th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. We've also got westbound 894 backed up from 27th Street to 68th. Watch for some delays right around the downtown area, especially heading into those checkpoints. They're starting to see a bit of a backup. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Great weather for the rest of the week. Finally, we have a drier stretch heading our way. Just a small chance for an isolated rain shower today with a cold front moving through. Partly cloudy with high temperatures in the lower 80s. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low temperatures in the 60s. The humidity completely leaves heading into Wednesday. High temperatures in the upper 70s, mostly sunny skies. On Thursday, we're talking mid-70s with more sunshine. Friday, we're back near 80 with mostly sunny skies. Then on Saturday, partly cloudy skies with high temperatures in the lower 80s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 70 degrees.
So the temperature going to be a lot better today than it was yesterday. Dew point will go down. The humidity, a little bit of humidity today, but it's going to be even less going into the rest of the week. So that's a good sign. I caught up with a delegate yesterday from Florida. And she's like, what gives? Here's my conversation with Michelle. What's your name? Where are you from?
I am Michelle Wharton, and I'm from Oviedo, Florida.
Have you ever been to Milwaukee before?
No, first time in Wisconsin.
Excellent. So what do you think so far?
I like it. It's hotter than I was expecting. I was trying to get away from the humidity. I was like, there's a much humidity for this not to be Florida.
So I thought I would ask you, like, what do we do about this? You know how to handle this,
No.
right?
Well, you kind of get used to it, but I'm like a little disappointed I didn't get away from it. But no, it's been beautiful.
Yeah.
I've been walking around, feel very safe, so it's been great.
Is this your first convention?
This is my first. Yes,
that's
yes.
exciting.
First time as a delegate, first time being here at a convention.
Okay. All right, so do you know all the rules and everything you got to do, where you're going to go and all that?
Basically, I have a great mentor who's been like showing me the ropes. So yeah, great.
Excellent. Is there anything I can help you with? I'm from Milwaukee. Is there anything I can tell you about, or a place to go to
Where's the
eat?
best brewery around here?
Oh, well, there's a bunch. There's Third
That's what I
Space,
heard.
there's Molson Coors, there's Sprecher, there's about 1 million. You cannot go wrong.
Okay, great. I'll try them all.
Welcome to Milwaukee.
All right, thank you so much.
So I took her to drink Wisconsin-bly. I'm
You guys just pounded the rest of the afternoon. We're very good friends now. I like what you did there. I had somebody yesterday, and I think this is what's expected of all of us with this huge event here. I'm at the security checkpoint, and this woman is looking frantic, and she's asking the Secret Service, "Where's the Pfister Hotel? I need to get it." And many of these folks are not from here,
yeah,
right?
They're
They're
like
looking
from
around.
Buffalo or.
I like almost ran her. I can help you, ma'am. Like,
Yeah.
I'm from here. Here's what you want to do. You want to go here. Well, what about this? I'm like, here's what you want to do. And almost the cops around were like, thanks, dude, because A, we're not equipped to answer this question, and B, we're busy, like, with the security of the event.
I was on Michigan on Monday, and a lady comes up and asks, she was like, hey, can you point me in the direction of Lakefront Brewery? I'm like, well, it's going to be a walk. It's quite a hike for you, but okay, good luck with that.
I like how you answer. I don't know what I would have said. Like, what's a good brewery? It's like, I think you answered it right.
Oh, I didn't know.
I don't know. Pick one. Like, you're not going to be disappointed, I promise. 746, Wisconsin's Morning News.
Greg Nansick here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, where the summer road trip sale continues. It's where to gear up, score enticing offers, and get more for your trade on a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC, or GM-certified pre-owned model. Experience Team Holiday's award-winning guest care and simplified buying approach. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over Wisconsin, and I'm one of them. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Fleet Farm has all the everyday essentials for your furry friends for less. This week, get a free $15 gift card when you spend $75 or more on Purina pet products. Stock up on favorites like Purina Dog Chow and Bacon Strips for the pups, Cat Chow and Friskies for your felines. Plus, you can order pet food online for convenient delivery right to your front door. Find deals on everything you need for your four-legged friends' everyday lives at Fleet Farm.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Eric Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Holiday Automotive. And on this Tuesday, All-Star Tuesday, Brewers 360 is our couple of guys who are going to start tonight.
Yes.
You have to sit there all night and wonder, is my guy going to get in?
No, they'll probably get a couple of ABs too, right? William Contreras, he's not one to take a day off, right? Contreras and Christian Yelich will both start for the NL tonight in Texas. Contreras batting 5th, Yelich batting 6th, and that's it. That's all we got. No one else from the crew on the team tonight. Now, there is another guy that you may recognize who's starting for the AL. It's Corbin Burns. The now Oriole is the AL starter on the American League side of things. On the NL side, it will be the rookie phenom Paul Skeens, who we just saw recently at AmFam Field.
Watch him get rocked tonight. Right, he hits the Brewers for 7 innings, or was it 8, whatever. Right. He's tearing through the league, and one time we need him because he's on our side.
Nothing.
He blows up in the first at the All-Star game.
We'll see. Perhaps the most memorable part of the Home Run Derby was the anthem, but we won't play that for you again. But it was a Home Run Derby that just kind of happened. Our winner was Teoscar Hernandez. He's from the Dodgers. It took until the final at-bat from Royals' Bobby Witt Jr. Final round. He had one last shot to tie it. Here's how it sounded.
Get legs! Get legs!
Nope.
Hernandez is your 2024 T-Mobile home run.
He just missed. He just missed. It hit the wall, so Hernandez is your winner. No big deal there. The Olympics are drawing closer. The torch is now officially in Paris. So we got that going for us. So the torch is there. The games begin Friday, July 26th.
7:49, we'll talk to Mark Tauscher next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And now is the time for a bad dad joke.
What did the window say when it was arrested? I was framed.
Dad jokes aside, my mind is on windows because Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin has a fantastic deal going on right now. Pay as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Pella completes the installation with no mess, no hassle, and no bad dad jokes. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends on July 31st. Visit PellaWI.com today to get started.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors, LLC, APA. Osaic Wealth and APA are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and APA.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you've got water in your house, you need Guthrie and Fry. We've got their water softener. We get their salt delivery. We've got reverse osmosis that protects the water in our house. They've got the best people. They've got the best products. It's Guthrie and Fry. They treat their clients like their family. I feel that every time they're in our house, you need Guthrie and Fry. Fixed rental rates, convenient salt delivery programs. It's gfwater.com.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Rich Lawns.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie Lazica, 9 minutes before 8 o'clock. How are the roads, Deb?
Well, we got some delays. Northbound 43 starting to slow down just a wee bit out of the Marquette up towards Fond du Lac Avenue, and then another pocket of heavy traffic between Locust and Keefe. Westbound 94, watch for backups from 20th all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes from Highway 100 to the county line. And westbound 894, we got backups from 27th Street all the way to 68th. Heads up around downtown area. I'm seeing delays making your way into each of the checkpoints, so you are going to have to wait a little bit. So just keep that in mind. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Chamber of Commerce weather here ahead for the remainder of the Republican National Convention. Humidity dropping today. Isolated shower is possible with a high of 82 degrees. Partly cloudy skies, low down to 66 tonight. Mostly sunny, cooler, and the humidity gone on Wednesday. High of just 78 degrees. Thursday's high just 75 under mostly sunny skies. Mostly sunny on Friday and a high of 80 degrees. Milwaukee just past 70 degrees right now.
Idea Man.
I think you guys should be pushing. Get out to Vegas. Do a road show. Morning road show out in Las Vegas.
Innovative.
It has a good chance of beating the Eclipse.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
No, here's what you do. No, you get all the way, but you stop in Reno, because then you're 97% of the way. All right.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Hey, Tausch, I don't know if you watched any of the Home Run Derby, but what seems to be getting all the attention this morning is not anything from the Derby itself. It's from what happened before the event began in Texas. So it started with the Home Run Derby, of course, and there was a nice, awesome introduction by Marcelo Hernandez. I don't know if you saw this. This is an actor from SNL, and he was awesome. He was very funny. He's bilingual, so he just played that up and, introduced all the Latin American players and whatnot, so it was super cool. But then came the anthem, and yeah.
And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting
It didn't.
That wasn't even the worst part.
It left an impression. Her name, Ingrid Andress.
Yes, so I did hear that, and I think so. Like a lot of times, you forget that the Home Run Derby is on, and then you check your Twitter feed or whatever it is, and then you're okay. Well, what is this? And you go back, and I'm going to be honest with you. So I listened to it. Was it good? No. But I saw, like, Darren Rovell tweeted 99% of the population would be worse. No, they wouldn't, because half the people wouldn't even, like, get up there and try. And to put this in the worst of the worst, was it bad? Certainly. It wasn't Whitney Houston in the Super Bowl of, I think, 1991. But it wasn't as bad as Carl Lewis's. It wasn't as bad as Roseanne Barr's that tried it. So it was bad.
Fergie's in that list, too. Hers.
Fergie? Yeah, but I think Fergie, I mean, I put Fergie ahead of whoever this was. So, I mean, if I want to be fair to the entire process. But this wasn't, like, the worst of worst. And, I mean, how would you two do? I would feel, I'm not going to say I'd feel comfortable doing it. I did headlines. I've become a little bit of a singing, I've at least tried. I just don't know the words. I don't think it was as bad as, I think a lot of people have done a lot worse. Put it that way.
It's a hard song. I mean, both of my daughters sang their school voice lessons, the whole thing. It's a hard song. Some of my proudest moments as a dad is when my girls have done the national anthem at the football game in Greendale, Tausch. I'll tell you what, for me, because I know they're both good singers, for me, when they start to round third and head for home, when they're on that last couple of stanzas, I'm like, just hang in there. Don't forget the words. Don't forget the words. Don't forget the words.
The key to it to me is because I think the Rockets' red glare, that's when you got to, like, go up. You don't need, not everybody has the voice of Alicia Keys. Like, not everybody can hit those notes. So kind of find your zone. And if you don't butcher the words, you're probably going to be okay. But, yeah, it is a monster skill set to be able to do that. And then to be able to do it in front of 50, 60,000 people is another added layer. So I know everybody is crushing her today. And, if you're going to do it, you have to have a ton of confidence. I don't know how wavered she is because Twitter and all of it is getting after her. But you're 100% right. You have to make sure you get the actual lyrics right. But you have to find that octave as far as where you can get to. And you probably don't want to go too much higher because it sounds like what we just heard.
So if you're in the midst of hearing a bad one, Tausch, there you are on the sideline, hand on heart, helmet in hand, right? And the reaction of some of the players, like the side eye, am I really hearing this?
Yeah, the problem is you just never know when the camera's going to be on you. And I saw the guy from the Phillies that started laughing because, typically it goes the other way. Like you'll see somebody come out, and there's the guy that does the Chicago Blackhawks games, and he's got that monster deep voice, and you're kind of like, oh, my God, I didn't see this coming, and you got that, whoa. But when it's really bad, I think you want to, you don't want to be a jerk, but it's also, you're a human being, and if it's bad, you're going to laugh and chuckle, and you get caught because it's kind of just the natural reaction to what's going on.
That our flag was still there.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. The more you guys are playing it, maybe it is closer to Carl Lewis.
What did Carl Lewis say? Whoa! That's right. That's good. Thanks, Tausch. We'll talk tomorrow.
Maybe I underestimated it. See you guys.
Whoa!
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The Republican National Convention is officially here in Milwaukee. Keep it tuned here for the most in-depth coverage of every angle of the RNC. This is Decision Wisconsin, presented by Pasternak and Zergabel. We are your central hub for all things RNC. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just before 8 o'clock, I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Tuesday, July 16th. Our top story, keeping safety top of mind as day 2 of the RNC gets underway.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, westbound on 94. Watch for delays from 20th Street out to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes coming out of the zoo across the county line. Northbound on 43, backing up a bit from Center Street up towards Locust. We've also got a little bit of a heavy ride heading through the Marquette northbound up past Fond du Lac Avenue. Heads up right around the security zones. There are some backups heading into each of the checkpoints, so something to keep in mind. Just give yourself some extra time this morning. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Mostly sunny today, not as humid as Monday in your storm team forecast. A high around 82 will drop down to the mid to upper 60s tonight. Then your Wednesday looks very pleasant, sunny, highs in the mid 70s for your day tomorrow. Right now in downtown Milwaukee, we've got a little bit of high clouds and about 72 degrees at 8 o'clock. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, day 2 of the Republican National Convention kicking off later this morning in downtown Milwaukee. The theme of the day is Make America Safe Again. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson says on day 1 of the convention, 3 people in total were arrested.
One occurred in the afternoon, an individual who was climbing a fence into a restricted area. By the way, this was his second arrest related to the RNC in 2 days for incidents around the convention. A second arrest was in the evening. An individual was blocking traffic and did not move when officers repeatedly asked her to do so.
An additional person was arrested during the protesting on Monday for disorderly conduct. The big news of the day Monday, Republican delegates vigorously cheering their party's standard bearer on the first night of the convention. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy reporting on what was a big first appearance since an attempted assassination for former President Donald Trump.
GOP delegates were electrified by their first glimpse of the former president, who pumped his fist into the air as he walked into the hall, a bandage covering his right ear. Missouri Party Chair Nick Myers.
I feel like the hand of Providence must be on President Trump.
Tonight's convention program theme, Making America Safe Once Again, with a focus on illegal immigration, violent crime, and deaths from drug overdoses. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Milwaukee.
Meanwhile, the FBI going through the phone and other devices of Thomas Matthew Crook, the person charged and now dead in that attempted assassination of the former president. Agents are done searching his Pennsylvania home and have interviewed more than 100 witnesses. News Nation's Evan Lambert near the home.
There is concern by the FBI after this attempted assassination attempt that could spur more violence. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette is now reporting that the shooter before the rally went to a local gun shop and bought 50 rounds of ammunition. There's also a report that he asked to borrow that AR-style rifle that he would later use to shoot former President Trump from his father. We know that weapon was legally purchased.
There's no information yet about any diagnosed mental health issues for the shooter. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is now campaigning off an image taken immediately after the assassination attempt, a powerful picture that is getting varied response around the RNC and downtown Milwaukee.
Blood on his face, fist in the air, Secret Service surrounding him. It's a picture of Donald Trump that's evoking extreme emotion. Britton Brooks traveled to Milwaukee from Texas.
That looks like a man that has taken a lot of hits and is still standing and still fighting strong. That's how I feel about it.
His thoughts are echoed by a Milwaukee business owner.
It makes me feel as though we've got someone that is truly a real patriot and that loves this country.
But others, like Appleton native Tyler Miller, look at the historic picture and feel this.
Irritated that he's getting points off of this.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
The other big news of day 1 of the convention was the announcement of Ohio Senator J.D. Vance as Donald Trump's vice presidential running mate. He received glowing endorsements all around the convention from GOP figures past and present on Monday. Former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, telling WTMJ.
I think he's really smart. I think he's 39, which is a great point to be the vice president. And I think that he will be an enormous help to Trump.
Gingrich says he has confidence in the ticket, but says a Republican win in November depends on people going out and voting. Coming up, an annual big day for spending online. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 8:04.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of specialty light fixtures open Monday through Saturday.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With the weather getting warmer, our prices get even hotter. When you visit our showroom, you'll see all the finest brands of lights and ceiling fans. BBC is Wisconsin's largest supplier to new home builders, contractors, and designers. And we display all the famous brands such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Hubbard & Forge, and hundreds more. Our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We are located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Join an unforgettable weekend of summer fun when the Brewers play the Marlins July 26th through the 28th. Be here for Yacht Rock Night on Friday and a Hawaiian shirt giveaway Saturday. Get your seats at Brewers.com.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 8:06. It's Amazon's biggest sale of the year, and it kicks off today.
Amazon's annual 2-day Prime Day sale kicks off today with deals on electronics, home goods, and thousands of other products. Data firm Adobe Analytics predicts shoppers will likely spend a record $14 billion this year during Amazon's 10th Prime Day event. In recent years, other major retailers like Best Buy, Walmart, and Target have also offered Black Friday-like sales events in July to compete with Amazon.
That's ABC correspondent Chanel Call. Back at home, a plan to keep American Family Field safe from floodwaters is hoping to prevent a jump in insurance premiums as well. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporting the Wisconsin Professional Baseball Park District will be spending $500,000 on flood prevention measures around the stadium, including the installation of floodgates at AmFam's North Loading Dock. The measure was one of 4 projects approved by the district board on Monday. The last flood impacting American Family Field was in 2009 when heavy downpours caused water to rush over from the stadium freeway into then Miller Park. And speaking of science, it's nothing that you'll notice, but it is there, an ever so slight slowing of the Earth's rotation.
I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly.
Well, believe it. A new study out this week says the melting of polar ice caps due to climate change is slowing the rotation of the planet. The study also says if we continue with this trajectory, by the year 2100, days could be 2.2 milliseconds longer than they are now. Not a big deal for us, but a very big deal for space travel, where even a tiny deviation in calculations can cause huge navigational mistakes. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 8:07.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstad here. It's going to be gorgeous the next several days. No rain. The humidity's going to drop, and it's going to be the perfect time to be outside. Maybe working in the garden or maybe going fishing and casting for muskie over and over and over again. But you're afraid to do it because you don't want that shoulder to really flare up, and it's going to keep you up at night, and you're going to be like, man, I don't want to have surgery, and I don't know how to fix this. Well, here's what you do. Call QC Kinetics. Bone-on-bone pain in your knees, your hips, your back, or your shoulder. QC Kinetics can help you out. It's the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. It accelerates your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again and go musky fish or go hike or work in the garden and feel good. QC Kinetics, here's what you do. You stop by, you call them, and you go to one of their locations. There's one in Greenfield and one in Mequon. 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, here's the number again. 414-285-3474. Get your consultation. It's free, and figure out if QC Kinetics can work for you.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you quality pet supplies because we get you. Right now, during our summer pet care sale, shop unbeatable deals on your pet's favorite food and supplies to keep them happy and healthy. Like Blaine's brand naturals, grain-free, and specialty dog food as low as $34.99. Blaine's brand dog chews, buy one, get one free. $7 off assorted bags of Rachel Ray Nutrish dog food and 20% off select sport dog remote trainers and accessories.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Checking in with Debbie Lazica at 8:10.
All righty, we've got westbound 94 backing up from about 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. We got the right shoulder blocked on 894 southbound at Oklahoma Avenue. It is a broken down vehicle, but just watch out for some possible delays right past that. Northbound 43 slowing down out of the Marquette up past Fond du Lac Avenue, back on the brakes just north of North Avenue all the way up to Keefe. And of course, we got our backups heading through the downtown area as folks are trying to get through to the checkpoints there into the downtown security zone. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Really nice stretch of weather ahead now that we're past the evening and early morning storms. Partly cloudy today, humidity beginning to drop. Chance for an isolated shower at some point today with a high of 82 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, low down to 66, and then 70s the next couple of days. Right now, get you a temperature in Milwaukee, 70 degrees.
This is WTMJ at the Republican National Convention.
I formally declare President Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance as the Republican nominees for President and Vice President of the United States.
Now broadcasting live from Media Row at the Panther Arena inside the RNC. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Eric Bilstad and Vince Vetrano.
As the sun rises on day 2 of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, talk this morning will be largely about the first appearance of the former president and now officially the GOP nominee for 2024, who appeared to great fanfare at the convention hall here in Milwaukee on Monday night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 45th President of the United States and soon to be the 47th President of the United States, please welcome Donald J. Trump.
Former president announced with the house band music playing, proud to be an American. Not for nothing, that band is pretty good.
Yeah.
I was in the convention hall for several hours on Monday, and I don't know if it's the same band throughout, but whoever is up there, kind of this band plays from between segments or between activity on the floor, try to keep people's spirits up, people dance and do stuff like that. Pretty solid band.
Okay.
So you heard them right there. WTMJ's John Mercure was on the floor of the convention as the former president entered. He is live on Wisconsin's Morning News this morning. Morning, John.
Hey, fellas. Good morning. What a morning. So that band, that was Lee Greenwood, was actually there live singing his song, Proud to be an American, with the house band.
See, Eric said that. I thought it was the house band from earlier.
I wondered if it was Lee.
It was him. So here's a crazy little moment. The band played, as you said, Vince, throughout the day. So last night, in between speakers, the band's playing again, and suddenly this dude gets up there, and I said, I think that's Lee Greenwood. And then they say, Lee Greenwood. And they've already shown Donald Trump in a waiting area in the bottom of Pfizer. So the crowd's going nuts. And Lee Greenwood gets up there and starts this long soliloquy about, and the land where the trees sway and the clouds float in the sky. And he was going on and on and on. And finally, they just started playing at full blast the intro to his song. And he kind of went, proud to be. And it was Mr.
Greenwood, it's time to sing.
Yeah, time to stop talking, time to sing. And then the place just went nuts, guys. It went nuts. It was louder than I've been at a lot of sporting events in the Super Bowl and the NBA Finals. I've never, I'm not exaggerating, heard a crowd as loud as when Donald Trump walked into Fiserv. It was nuts.
So they were showing the former president in the concourse. At least that was the TV feed that we saw of it. Was that showing also on the screens in the arena, John, as he was entering? It felt to me like a boxer entering the arena, like that scene on any scene on a Rocky.
He had a robe on,
in, right?
Hood over his head.
That's exactly right. So I had several people tell me that indeed he was going to talk last night, and then I wanted to be in there, and so then it was like, well, where's he going to come in? Is he going to come in the backstage and be at the podium? Is he going to sit with his family? So I found out where his family was seated, and then I kind of wiggled in behind a big, tall, 7-foot photographer from CBS News, and I followed him. He looked like he knew what he was doing. And I got to this area, and before you know it, I was 10 feet away from where he entered in from underneath, and he was right there. And that Band-Aid, the only thing bigger than that Band-Aid on his right ear was the smile on his face. And
so I'm glad you brought that up. Because I was wondering about that, because that's the first thing, at least many people were wondering about, is what kind of Band-Aid would he have on his injury on his right ear, and it was a big one.
It was huge. It was huge. I was on with Dr. Ken Harris from 6 to 8 before the speech, and we took a poll. Would it be bandage, head wrap, Band-Aid, or nothing at all? And that Band-Aid, I'm telling you, was huge. I think this is a story to watch. As we head through the week, that thing's going to get smaller and smaller. He had to come out like the Warrior last night, and then when the official pictures are taken and all that stuff come Thursday, it'll probably be really tiny.
I wanted to ask you about the weather last night. A number of people telling us as they were leaving the convention hall, it was super stormy, those storms blowing through. Did that dampen any spirits as the folks that you were talking with?
No, but it was really thundering and lightning. I mean, the lightning was really, really pretty severe. Yeah. But no, people were floating out of there. They were just singing and dancing, and that was the longest day for the delegates was yesterday. So they had been in there, many of those people, for 10 hours by the time they got out into the weather at the end of the day, and they were dancing. I did talk to one delegate who was going to a hotel near Sheboygan and wasn't too happy about that. I can't even remember the delegation. Might have been Delaware. I guess if you're Joe Biden's Delaware delegation, you get to stay in Sheboygan. But
that's what you get. They put you an hour outside of town.
Yeah, you're right, because they had the 2 sessions on Monday. They started early. I mean, I was there in Deer District when they were first going into the place for that first session when the nominations were going to come down and J.D. Vance was going to be announced, and that was sweltering heat. And then they had the second one. Today they only have the one in the evening. So I'm curious if today's the day delegates go out, if you find them in other areas outside of Milwaukee County, maybe checking out a couple of things before coming back tonight.
Today is one of the days they have free. So I heard people talking about what they were going to do today, mostly members of the media, who also feel like some of them have the day free because they can, quote, go do what the delegates are doing. So they're all looking for places to go. I think today and tomorrow are the days that they have the chance to maybe try local restaurants, get out and walk about a little bit. But you guys have run into this all day yesterday. It's just surreal to have in our city and talking about our city all these people. I was hustling over to try to get into where I thought Donald Trump was going to be last night, and I looked up and saw a guy walking towards me with his face buried in his phone, about to ram into me, and I was like, that looks like Wolf Blitzer. Well, it was Wolf Blitzer, and he planted his head in my chest because he wasn't looking where he was going. And it's just really, really weird to see these people in our city. So then I asked him a couple questions about Milwaukee, and he just raved and raved and raved about the downtown area and the lakefront, and it's kind of fun.
It's interesting. That is a storyline that, because there was so much happening yesterday, you had the actual official nomination of Donald Trump as the GOP nominee. That happened. You had the J.D. Vance vice presidential pick announcement and his nomination as well. Then you had, our first opportunity to see the former president since the assassination attempt. All of those storylines playing out. Today is the day I really want to get in and start talking to people about their impressions of Milwaukee, how we've done, what they want to see, what they're doing. Because I feel like yesterday there was so much business. today is an opportunity to have that conversation.
Yeah, I think today is the day for that. You're right. Yesterday, the buzz started early about the VP pick, so that kind of consumed everything. Then it became apparent that Donald Trump was going to be here. Vetrano gave me some really good information that he got in an off-the-record press briefing, and I misunderstood it, and so I decided I'd go on the air and tell all of our thousands and thousands of listeners from around the world the information that Vetrano had told me, and he was sitting next to me.
And then say, Vetrano told me that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I expect to go to the media the off-the-record for scheduling only media briefing today and be told, I'm sorry, sir, you've been denied access.
What's your name,
You and I have been
Vetrano?
friends for 25 years. I've never seen the look on your face like you quite wanted to kill me, like you did yesterday.
Well, he looks at what had happened was, Eric, John and Julia are doing Wisconsin's Afternoon News right here where we're sitting in Media Row in the arena. And they were, I can't remember, I think you guys were talking about what was ahead and what was happening now in the convention hall and the prospect of the former president coming in and perhaps speaking and whatever. I had that information having been at that briefing. So I share with John, I'm like, just so you know, we went to this thing off the record. They're saying the president is going to come, but he's not going to come till 9 o'clock.
And the reason they do that is so everyone can be in place at all the networks and everyone can know and how to prepare for it anyway.
Somewhere in that translation, Merck lost, this is not for public consumption. And then next thing I know, he's like, yeah, Vetrano told me this is happening.
Yeah, it was bad enough that I said the information, but then I attributed it to you, and that look on your face, like, dude, I got to work here the next 3 or 4 days. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, just so you know, you now have to cover that because I'm off the list apparently, or I'm on another list. So, nice job, pal.
Oh, man, it's been fun. I'm just getting ready to head through the security checkpoint. Again, yesterday as I went through security checkpoint, the guy behind me crashed his car into the barricade. I've never seen a swarm of cops look like a swarm of bees on top of a black SUV. Is when that guy hit the barricade.
Turned out to be just an accident, right?
Yes, just an accident. But, man, that guy, I think he probably got the hell scared out of him. You should have seen these cops. You got 5,000 cops looking for something to do. Accidentally smack into a barricade and see what happens.
Good. That's great, though. I'm glad because that keeps them active and keeps them on edge because otherwise there's been a lot of staring at phones right now.
Stay sharp.
Yep.
WTMJ's John Mercure on live with us on Wisconsin's Morning News. We'll see you soon, my friend.
Sounds good. Take care, guys. See you in a bit.
8:21. Coming up next, we'll talk live with Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky, not only about our weather here, but just the fact that we've ordered up a Chamber of Commerce forecast here for the next several days. Niz joins us live next on Wisconsin's Morning News. We'll do the roads here right now, Debbie.
All right, northbound on 43. Coming out of the Marquette, it's going to be a bit tight up past Fond du Lac Avenue. We'll be back on the brakes from Center Street up past Keefe. On the southbound side, everything's rolling along pretty well. Westbound 94, 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard is going to be heavy. And then just crossing over the county line into Waukesha County. Quick tap of the brakes there. Westbound 894 from 27th Street to 68th. We've got that delay as per usual. Few broken down vehicles around the area, like on the bypass, on the southbound side of the bypass, and then we've also got on westbound, basically on the ramp from 76th Street to eastbound 894. So just be extra careful wherever you go today. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
It's Tori Lowe from 1017 The Truth, and violence is a problem which impacts us all, but together we can make a difference. Join me and the 620 WTMJ team on Saturday, July 20th from 9 a.m. to noon for our second annual Walk Against Violence. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to senseless violence in our community and encourage for a safer, stronger Milwaukee. Visit 1017thetruth.com to sign up today. Together, we can bring an end to violence.
Almost time for the world's greatest aviation celebration, EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. It starts next week, July 22nd through the 28th. I think I'm going that first Monday. Experience daily air shows with thrilling aerobatics, 2-night air shows with dazzling fireworks, drones, and more. Ooh, you better get there. Drone show.
You know I love a good drone show.
Unique aircraft will be on display through the week, along with a lot of hands-on activities for the kids and so much more for the whole family to explore. Get up there for EAA, a week of unforgettable moments, and immerse yourself in the world of flight. Do not wait. Visit EAA.org/tickets for more information or to purchase your tickets today.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Is it time to replace the siding at your house? First off, you got to go to Tri-County Contracting. You can hit up their showroom in New Berlin to check out the vinyl siding and the LP Smart Side they have on display. They'll help you find that siding and the color that you will love. And if you're worried about price, don't forget about the 30-year no-faded paint warranty. Transform your house and increase the value. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
You know this already. Inflation is sticky. You see it on the news. You feel it at the grocery store. It's the involuntary pay cut no one wants and that we can't seem to shake. Annex Wealth Management wants to help. Now is the time to download 7 strategies you can use in an environment with elevated inflation. Learn how real assets can help, which tax-efficient strategies to consider, and one way to increase Social Security benefits. It's a free download and available now. Go to annexwealth.com/inflation.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
8:26 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Eric Bilstead, Vince Vitrano live from the Republican National Convention. We are at UWM Panther Arena, the Broadcast Center, Media Row as they call it. And joining us live this morning, Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. Boy, Niz, we had one more little early morning storm. Eric and I are, you know where our offices are downtown at the Avenue, and it's about 3-4 blocks of a walk over to the venue where we are. And I'm looking at the radar. I go to Eric. I'm like, we either got to go now or we got to go late, but this is not good.
Yeah, it's there's still a little bit of scattered activity, but last night, thankfully, with the potential severe stuff, there was a while there where it was looking like, man, we're going to be right on the edge of like getting slammed with this stuff. But yeah, thankfully for the most part, the severe weather missed us. There was one point last night that downtown Chicago had, like, literally not downtown, the entire Chicagoland area was under a tornado warning, and there probably is going to be multiple tornado touchdowns in the Chicago area. So this was a very near miss for us, which I think everybody can agree is obviously a good thing.
Hey, I'm looking at the rest of the forecast, though. So we had this humidity, and it was hot yesterday. Everybody we talked to that came in from outside was sweaty.
All dressed to the nines, too.
Right, yeah,
they're all wearing their big
yeah.
outfits and hats, and it's just sweltering heat.
Dude, it was brutal for yesterday afternoon. We had dew points at one point. I saw our station sensor got up to a dew point around 75, 76. That's like vacationing in like Jamaica humidity. That's like vacationing right in the middle of the tropics humidity. So it was very uncomfortable. The sun was out. High temperatures topped out around 90 degrees, and then when you factored in the humidity, the heat index values were well into the 90s, and in some cases close to 100. The good news is today there's still a little bit of humidity, but it feels relatively comfortable compared to where we've been. But by tomorrow, we're talking about refreshing, beautiful weather, the weather that, we probably sold the RNC committee on for here in Milwaukee that we can have. We're talking 70s, sunshine, low humidity, really quite beautiful for the rest of the week.
Which, to be honest, isn't really your typical mid to late July. It's more likely to be what we had Monday, right, than 75 for your high. It's funny, Niz, too. Everybody that Eric and I are running into here seems to have the impression of the weather here in Wisconsin as being vastly different than it is. Like, I thought it was cold up here. I mean, it's not. We're not the tundra. It's not frozen all the time.
Yeah, they're expecting still a little bit, maybe a few snow piles left over from winter.
Right, 58 or something for the high. Bring your coat.
Yeah. No, it is funny. I'll go do different talks and stuff, and one thing that obviously I'm not extremely well traveled, but traveled enough where that's true. Where the impression, just like you have the impression of, that you'd have the impression of Florida or Arizona, where like if you traveled there in January, like when we would go to we've had news crews go to Phoenix for a Packers game in January, and it's 55 degrees and sunny, and you're thinking, well, hey, what the heck? There's palm trees. This is Phoenix. What's going on? Same sort of instance.
Yeah, I was in New York over Thanksgiving, right? Because Green Day was in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, right? And I can't tell you how many people in New York say, wow, must be nice to be, a little warmer down here. I'm like, where do you think you are? Like, look at a map, man. Like, we're about the same latitude.
Yeah.
We have 40s in Milwaukee.
It's all relative. Everybody fluctuates. But one thing that I will say is, I mean, we clearly have a better climate in summer than if they were, to hold the RNC even in, let's say, St. Louis or something like that. You know what I mean? Or the DNC. We do have more of these dips, and we do have in general, where we don't constantly sit in 90s and high humidity as where maybe locations just to our south will be. So there is a good selling point for it. But, yeah, we're definitely, we still get summer here in Wisconsin.
Hey, Niz, last thing for you, and then we can let you go. But point of pride, you're a hometown kid, as I am. I've just been so excited. Anybody who needs directions, anybody who seems like they need some help going somewhere, Eric's had the same, just trying to find people, show off our city, show them around. Yeah. It's really fun and cool to see all of these folks, regardless of your political stripes, here in Milwaukee this week.
Totally. My first encounter was, you'll love this, Vinny can picture me in this scenario. So on Sunday, we were supposed to go out on my buddy Jose's boat, McKinley Marina, and cruise the river, but we weren't able to do it. So we were out on the lake for a little bit, and then we decided there was this massive soccer game, Copa Championship, Colombia versus Argentina. And we were like, I'm like, you know what? Let's walk up to Nomad on Brady. And so the boys walked up to Brady Street, 7 o'clock to go check out, Colombia versus Argentina at Nomad. It was slam-packed. Well, we ended up standing next to a guy who was a reporter from Colombia here for the RNC. And he was just so proud because there were so many Colombia, fans. We must have a Colombia population here in Milwaukee that I wasn't aware about. And they were strong at Nomad. And he was just in awe. It was his first time in Milwaukee. And it was really cool for him to, to see that and experience that here.
Well, I'm really glad he ran into you and Jose to be our representatives of the area.
Hey, we took care of my boy from Colombia.
Yeah, I bet you did. I know Jose as well.
Oh, yeah, we showed him
couldn't
the
end
sights.
it better for that guy.
Yeah, I felt bad for his wife. No, just joking. Never mind.
And we'll leave it there.
Thank you. Good night.
24 Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky. Thanks, my friend.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
8:32 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic in Delafield and Wauwatosa, talking today with Dr. Alex Young. Doc, I've been seeing you and your team for almost a year now. One thing I've learned that I really respect about your practice is how much you are out in the community. You're bringing your healing to the people.
Absolutely, yeah. We sponsor all kinds of events, whether it's farmers markets or fairs in the Milwaukee area. We really want to support our community and spread the message about how we can help with health and healing.
And Amber is with us today, and she's a patient of Dr. Young and the team there at Connect Chiropractic. Amber, that's how you found them, right? You ran into them at, an event at State Fair Park?
Yeah, I met them at the State Fair Expo Center last summer. I had woken up with chronic pain in my neck that I'd never experienced before. I couldn't turn my head left or right. I felt like a Lego almost, just moving my entire body.
I've been that guy, yeah. And people are like, what's your problem?
Absolutely. And so going to Connect Chiropractic originally just for pain treatment and eventually even getting a job there was something completely unexpected.
Yeah, how long about till you started feeling a whole lot better?
It took me about a month to feel better. Everybody's a little different, and when I went in, my neck was actually curved backwards. So I had a long road to go to get to healing.
Well, I'm glad you and I are both on the same path now. Doc, how about that? I mean, look, everybody's got aches and pains, right? We all got aches and pains and bumps and bruises. How does someone know when it's time to come and see you and seek out chiropractic care?
Absolutely. Aches and pains are really common, but they're never normal. Aches and pains are always a warning sign from your body. Something's not right. So when you have those warning signs from your body, we need to listen to them and do something about it.
No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Tell us again what that means.
Yeah, we use an integrator for all of our adjustments. It's a special tool, really gentle, really light, allows us to get really good results.
All right, if you'd like to see results like this, visit Dr. Alex Young and the team. Connect Chiropractic in Delafield and Wauwatosa. Visit them online at goconnectchiro.com.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
It's 8:34. I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's morning news for Tuesday, July 16th. Our top story, the political party continues in Milwaukee.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Westbound on 894 is going to be a bit tight from just west of 27th Street all the way to about 68th Street. We got northbound 43 slowing down out of the Marquette all the way past Fond du Lac, back on the brakes from North Avenue up to Keefe. Heads up, there are a lot of broken down vehicles all over the place, but luckily they are away from the downtown area, and they are all out of traffic, so they're not really causing too much of an issue, but there's a lot of them, strangely. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Heading up to a high of 82 today in your storm team forecast. Should be partly cloudy, not as humid as Monday, down to the mid-60s overnight tonight, and then a very pleasant Wednesday, mostly sunny, and 78 the high. Right now 72 with high clouds in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee now into its second day. Former Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker telling WTMJ the vibe so far at the convention through one day has been stellar.
I hear people all throughout the arena today tell me how great it is, but on top of that, people watching and listening and viewing this on social media all around the world, they're loving it. People are talking great things about Wisconsin and particularly about Milwaukee. I always said Milwaukee doesn't have a bad reputation. We just don't have a reputation for a lot of people. Now we're on the map.
Walker also making a ringing endorsement for President nominee Donald Trump's VP candidate, J.D. Vance. Also speaking on day one of the convention, Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson touting the GOP's Wisconsin roots.
170 years ago, the Republican Party was born here, founded on the principle of freedom and dedicated to the fight to end slavery. It is an honor and privilege to represent the good, decent, hardworking, and very nice people of Wisconsin in the U.S. Senate.
Other speakers on day one included Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, and Turning Point USA CEO Charlie Kirk. Many people at the convention reacting in real time to the announcement of J.D. Vance as the vice presidential GOP candidate. The First Lady of Ohio, Fran DeWine, tells WTMJ she thinks having a VP candidate from her home state will help candidates up and down the ballot in Ohio.
This is going to help voter turnout, and it's going to help our other Senate candidate be elected, and I think it's going to get everybody in Ohio very excited, about the election.
Other delegates around Convention Fest in Milwaukee reacting to the news as well. WTMJ's Sandy Max polling the crowd near the Baird Center.
It's not just about picking a VP, it's about picking the next president.
I am very confident in J.D. Vance. I think he's going to be probably one of the greatest vice presidents of all time. He's got a lot of energy. The young people love him.
I think that he brings just a different
vibe to the ticket.
He's a great young guy. I think he's a future of the Republican Party.
Day 2 expected to be a getaway day for many delegates. The theme of the convention today, Make America Safer Again. Time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. At the opening bell, good start to the day for the Dow, up 242 points to 40,454. More modest gains for the NASDAQ, up 61 to 18,533. The S&P 500 is up 18 points this morning to 5,649. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 8:38.
Traffic is sponsored by 2 Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at 2menandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
This report is sponsored by the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular August 1st through the 11th.
Summer vibes are here, and your Wisconsin State Fair ticket gives you access to incredible live entertainment. Don't miss a second of the free shows at the Bank 5-9 Amphitheater, with headlining acts like Gaelic Storm, Mackenzie Porter, and for 2 nights, here come the Mummies. Snag your discounted tickets and plan your day at wistatefair.com. You'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular August 1st through the 11th. wistatefair.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Our house was looking kind of drab. Needed a little bit of a facelift, and I found the team that took care of it big time. It's CertaPro Painters. Each business is independently owned and operated right here in Wisconsin. Schedule your free estimate online. It's easy. CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They will come out and help you protect your home investment with quality painting. It's CertaPro Painters. They are the real deal. They did great work at our house. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors, LLC, APA. Osaic Wealth and APA are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and APA.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Still loving retirement and still loving the energy-efficient windows and patio doors Hometown installed a few years ago. They keep my utility bills in line during hot summer months and add equity to my home all year long. Contact Hometown for a no-pressure in-home consultation or check out their home show-style New Berlin showroom featuring national brand names like Pella, Marvin, and Anderson. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. HometownWindows.com.
.841 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Things starting to get a little bit busier here at UWM Panther Arena. It's funny. So one of the things you do, they call it Media Row for a reason. People who are trying to get their message out here at the convention come on in through here, and it's an opportunity for them to hit radio programs, local, national, international, television as well. So,
and some network programming here too. Yeah, there's some TV stations here.
So from our vantage point, Eric, it's fun if we can bring people in. So we sit here at this table and people walk by, and some of them appear to be looking like they might have something to sell. You know, like, hey, kind of looking over your credit, like, okay, they see, okay, WTMJ, what would that be? Is that okay?
Does that make sense for us? Yep.
And then sometimes there's eye contact with, like, I may have something for you. Would you have room for?
And sometimes it's just it's like a page or somebody, right? It's like an assistant,
a handler.
A handler. Thank you. But sometimes it's the actual person, and you're like, should we know who you are?
Yes. Are you someone or not?
I'd like to, I'd like to.
Or are
think
you a podcaster from Cuyahoga Falls who's like, hey, I'm available. Great, good for you.
I'd like to think that we would know most, not everyone, but I think most VIPs we would recognize. But I start second guessing myself sometimes. I'm like, wait a minute.
And to be honest, when you're seeing someone whom you haven't seen with your own eyes, and anyone who's gone to a sporting event or whatever, you know what that's like when you see Aaron Rodgers in person, or in this case, when you see Speaker Mike Johnson in person now with your own eyes. You're like, is that what? Because maybe they're taller, or maybe they're shorter, or maybe they're not wearing a suit, or maybe they, when it's out of context, you have that moment where you're eyeing each other up. Like, are you someone I want to talk to, and would you want to talk to me?
Eric Trump was one of the ones that was down here on Media Row earlier
this morning.
Today. Yeah, already doing some hits on some of the national cable channels. Hasn't been able to hit the local stuff yet, but I'm sure they'll come back around at some point pushing that. We'll probably hear from some other lawmakers today as well. We're hearing that some other somewhat big-name congressmen are starting to land and are going to be in and around the area, so that'll make for news, I'm sure, later today. The big story is Nikki Haley. She's expected to be the main speaker tonight.
How it worked on the floor of the convention hall on Monday is it's interesting because we have a certain number of credentials that gain us access to the building, and then they limit the number of people, journalists, who are allowed out on the floor. But I was out there for maybe 45 minutes on Monday, right when the GOP, when the nominating process was happening for former President Trump. And people are out there, they expect to be interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
So you just walk right on up to whomever. And again, because it's a secure perimeter, there's not the usual, like, there are people and there are handlers, but it's kind of hands-on. You can get right up next to people where normally in an open environment you wouldn't have the opportunity.
More cautious. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's incredible how that works here. Like, we can go anywhere knowing that it's fully safe.
And we want to, just to let you know, because we got 2 more days where we're going to be live from here, our lens on it is this interesting to you? Just because someone's walked by and said, hey, do you want Congressman Shinland here to be on the air? Well, I don't know, maybe. Or maybe not. So, we do go through a process of, would this be interesting to give to all of you who listen to our show?
Right.
And, is it someone who will talk with us, who will engage with us on questions, not just a bunch of softballs, but can we ask them hard questions, and do you have answers to those?
Right.
I don't want to just have somebody come out here and read the talking points. Granted, we're obviously talking a lot about Republicans this week.
Sure.
It's the RNC. It was the same thing in the run-up to the 2020 DNC, which largely didn't materialize.
And we should also mention, speaking of the DNC, we're going to have programs broadcasting from Chicago. Wisconsin Morning News will not be broadcasting from Chicago, but we will have programs on the station down there. So it will be getting attention, going to do our best to bring a lot of the DNC to the airwaves as well.
You know what's interesting? I was talking to a couple of people whom I know are I don't want to say they're not TV reporters or anything like that, because you're supposed to be, non-leaning. You're not supposed to whatever. But these are folks in our industry who I know are of the liberal persuasion. If you will, okay.
All right.
But they're here and they're covering the convention and they're doing the things that they're doing and they're working and whatever. And I said, but I'm like, you know what it must be like for them? Be like me covering the Super Bowl, except the Bears are in it. It's like, and there's a whole exhibit celebrating was it 82? No, 85. The 85 Bears, right? And you've got McMahon
How do you
up
not
there.
know that? That's the only year anyone ever hears about.
Right, 82 for the Brewers, right? Yeah, right. They've got this whole tribute to the 85 team and the fridge and all these guys. And you're like, yeah, I remember those teams. Didn't end well for my guys, but it's very exciting to be around. Yes, okay. 8:46, Wisconsin's Morning News. What's happening on the roads here, Deb?
We got a little bit of a backup westbound on 894 from 27th Street to 68th. Doesn't really ever get past 68th Street, interestingly enough, but that's where the construction zone is. Northbound on 43, north of North Avenue. We're seeing delays all the way up to Keefe. Southbound side looks nice and quiet. And westbound 94, maybe a quick tap of the brakes as you're leaving the stadium interchange, but overall, everything is looking pretty good. Hey, by the way, be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents and incidents to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lozgo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead. It's swimming season, or for some of us, golfing or gardening season. But you're not out there enjoying your favorite hobby because you're sidelined from arthritic joint pain. Bone-on-bone pain in your knees or hips, maybe. Here's what you do. You call QC Kinetics. There are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you the lasting relief you need. QC Kinetics is helping patients all the time. I'm talking cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. It's not sorcery, it's technology, and you don't need surgery. Call QC Kinetics. The local professionals at QC Kinetics in Greenfield and in Mequon are ready to help you. Here's the phone number, 414-285-3474.
That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Big savings are here, thanks to Senator Dan Fine. He helped cut property taxes by $11 billion, making home ownership more affordable. That's not all. His efforts slashed income and franchise taxes by nearly $17 billion. Call 608-266-5300 and thank Senator Fine for keeping your money where it belongs, in your wallet. Remember, when your money's on the line, you can count on Senator Dan Fine. Paid for by the Wisconsin Realtors Advocacy Fund.
Popular misconception, folks, is that I love to do yard work. Vince Vitrano here for my partners at Great Lakes Landscape. What I like is mowing the lawn, not a whole lot else. I don't like trimming the shrubs. I don't like doing the mulch, some of the hard work, right?
Mulch is fun.
Yeah, not so much. For everything else in the yard, I trust Great Lakes Landscape. Just had them out to do the mulch in spring. Still looks great. They went around with a spade, hand cut the edges on the flower beds. I like how it looks when it's done. That's not a lot of fun, though, to do that. Beautiful fresh mulch all nestled in between the plants and shrubs. Now just a little string trimmer on those nice edges they made. We're done. It looks great. Looks amazing. Done in less than a couple of hours. You had a dirty mulch pile in your driveway for days.
I don't know what you're talking about.
My stuff was done in hours.
Don't worry about it.
Didn't waste a whole weekend afternoon doing it either.
Mind your own business.
Great Lakes Landscape would love to beautify your yard. Tell them Vinny sent you. Order the mulch. Maybe you need a weed and feed fertilizer application, or let them do the whole thing. Full landscape maintenance packages are still available for the remainder of the summer into the fall. Great Lakes does it all. Tell them you want your yard looking as good as mine. Great Lakes Landscape. GreatLakesLandscapeWI.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. You've heard me talk about the wonderful new retractable awning the team at Comfort Awnings installed at my home. Now I can have all the cookouts and get-togethers in my backyard with some extra shade and relaxation for my guests. Comfort Awnings is a local family-owned company in Burlington that provides expert installation in southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. Now until the end of July, you can receive $400 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit ComfortAwnings.com to learn more.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlawns.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Rich Lawns.
Oh, yeah.
Before 9 o'clock on Wisconsin's Morning News, live from UWM Panther Arena and the Republican National Convention.
He is easy as... You got to be the hardest working man in radio this week.
No.
Steve Scaffidi joins us.
I'm a schmoozer. I've learned I'm a schmoozer. I think that's what's going on here.
You've been at it. I mean, you're doing BBC in the middle of the night. You're here
midnight.
early. You're here late.
I got like 4 hours solid, though.
I got contacted by a television operation in Australia.
Yeah.
Everybody's
here.
I opened my email this morning and it said, would you be available for, I think they wanted like 11:30 p.m. CDT Central Time.
That's perfect for you.
I'm just reading this now as I get up now, so that's going to be not available.
There's your answer
for that slot.
How did it go for you on Monday, Steve? What was some of the takeaways from all the people you talked to? Because you talked to a lot of folks.
Yeah, I mean, after the sort of the hassle of getting down here from our perspective, I mean, all of that, and today, by the way, only car in line at Michigan, which
very smooth.
Blew me away. Just the context I ran into so many media people that I had known in the past from my previous life. And everybody has like really, really good things to say about how we've done this, the security, the look of the city. You walk around the Fiserv Forum Panther Arena, got down to the 3rd Street Market Hall. It looks amazing. It looks really good.
So I want to share this with you because the one thing that we noticed is that we're all worried about making sure Milwaukee looks awesome.
Yes.
And I know Vince has talked about, like, hey, we got to make sure we're helping these people, and they're asking questions or whatever. But I also noticed that the lawmakers want to make sure that we know that they like Milwaukee back. They want to endear themselves to us. Here's Newt Gingrich. WTMJ's Libby Collins spoke with Newt Gingrich. Here's what he said.
How do you like Wisconsin so far?
Well, I love Wisconsin. My wife's from Whitehall. My son-in-law's from Sheboygan. We own a share of Packer stock. I like cheese curds and I like brats.
Oh, he wrote it all down ahead of time. I love that.
He got everything.
Interesting information there, though. I didn't know that.
I wonder if they have help. Here's what you got to tell them. If you
Yeah.
meet anybody from around there,
You like
tell them
brats.
you like brats.
And it's brats, not brats.
Tell me you drink beer
And a
for
month from now,
breakfast.
it's you can't put ketchup on a hot dog because you're in Chicago. It's all the same stuff.
So then there's this one, Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana. So Libby grabbed him too and asked him about the J.D. Vance pick, and listen to what he said.
Can you just tell us if you feel that the Trump-Vance ticket can win Wisconsin?
Well, let me say this first. I love Milwaukee. I may never leave, okay? It's awfully hot in Louisiana. I love it.
It's pretty hot here, too.
Did I mention that I love Milwaukee? Now, what was your question?
They call those talking points, Eric. That's the classic. That's probably on the top of the page. You love Milwaukee, by the way.
I love how Libby called him out. She's like, well, it's hot right here right now.
It was crazy hot yesterday.
Probably hotter
What
than
was your
Louisiana.
question? Now, what was your question?
Now, what do you want to ask me?
They're all saying the same thing.
Oh,
That's why you can't do too much of that because it becomes overwhelming at some point. I've heard it like 6 times already. Let's move on. Which I'm going to try to do on the show today.
Let me tell you something, though. As a lifer here, I'm really happy to hear it. I'll listen to cool people and famous people or whoever, visitors to our community, say nice things about my town anytime.
Yeah, it certainly beats Milwaukee sucks, right? So, which it doesn't, because we all work down here. And we love it. I love this city, and it's a great alternative to that sort of talking point.
8:53 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Debbie, one more time here before 9 o'clock.
All right. Well, we've got northbound 43 from North Avenue up towards Keefe. It's going to be a bit of a slow ride there. Folks suddenly surprised, but some of the off-ramps are closed heading into downtown. Shocker. The RNC is going on, and that means that security checkpoints are going to be a thing, so you do want to be extra careful. Westbound on 894, got some backups from 27th Street out to 68th Street. A string of broken down vehicles on 94 south of the Mitchell interchange heading down towards Drexel to the Rawson Avenue area. They're all out of traffic, luckily, but it's been a string of them, so it's kind of a little bit of a head scratcher there. Overall, we are actually looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ is your station to catch all things Brewers. Listen to Bob Uecker.
Get out of here and wang on!
Jeff Leverett.
Struck him out with a changeup.
Lane Grindle.
And it's a called third strike.
And Josh Mauer.
Watch this, baby. Goodbye.
Call every game.
I'm surprised you still have fingernails on that right hand.
And have a little fun.
I got more in my bag.
On your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. You're a homeowner and you know it's time to get new siding and you're like, oh my gosh, here comes the headache. You're worried about how are you going to start this project? How are you going to budget for it? And how in the world are you going to find the right place? Well, I got the place for you. Tri-County Contracting. They've been doing this type of thing for more than 40 years right here in southeast Wisconsin. And Tri-County Contracting is a unicorn. And what I mean by that, locally owned, locally operated. They're the ones that run it. Tri-County Contracting. They do roofs and they can do siding for you. You can go to their website, tricountycontractingwi.com, or you can go to their showroom and they'll show you everything they got in New Berlin. Tricountycontractingwi.com. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tricountycontractingwi.com.
The Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions.
The Bucks in 6 podcast presents a special series commemorating the Bucks championship run in 2021. From the thrilling Game 7 overtime victory against the Nets.
Durant shooting, got it at the buzzer. No, it's a two-pointer.
To the 50-point statement made by Giannis in the finals.
A 50-point game. That's the stuff of legend.
Immerse yourself in the sounds of each playoff round with Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperFiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. We just have a chance for an isolated shower today. Otherwise, the humidity is going to start to drop in a high of 82 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, low down to 66. Right now it's 75 in Milwaukee. Ahead today at the Republican National Convention, expected to speak tonight, Eric. This is what everybody's talking about today, but for obviously the president having appeared, former president having appeared in the convention hall last night, is the fact that former Ambassador Nikki Haley is among the speakers expected to take to the stage inside the convention hall.
That'll be the prime time address. That'll be the one that everyone's waiting for tonight.
So that is ahead, full hour. WTMJ Political Power Hour with Steve Scaffidi live from the Republican National Convention is next.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Michael Quizon is the IT systems administrator at